Hey Stephanie, how you doing? I just posted a link. Yeah, let's kick it. No, I'm saying. Yeah, let's kick it. Which one is the motherfucker? Extreme fucking Pro. Extreme Pro, man. Fake ass SD cards I got. Fake card, SD, fake. Bootleg. Got hosed. Yeah, it's all right. I can take it. Yeah, don't worry about me. I'm going to be kicking it regardless. I'm going to be kicking it regardless. Yeah, regardless, I'm going to be kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Let's see here. What's this? A fucking ticker? Yeah, put the ticker on here. Now I got to kick the ticker. Oh, yeah. Now we're talking about it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's kick it. Let's rock. Oh, shoot, I missed that one. I gotta edit that one. Dang it. Build you confidence. Sounding like I'm from Kentucky. What the hell is wrong with this motherfucker? It's not working now. Oh, here she is. Hey, Steph. How you doing? You there? You hear me all right?
Hey, yeah, I'm good.
Good.
Do you? Is my avatar a picture of Trump?
No, it's just black.
Oh, I wonder why that picture won't work.
Too big,
Because
too large a file.
see, I see a picture of Trump when I'm looking at my screen.
Yeah, that's because it doesn't matter what size it is on your screen.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to
I'm
leave
assuming
and
that.
change it, or?
No, it's just black. It doesn't matter. It's just black with a white circle in the middle.
Oh, it is. Oh, okay.
All right. You can if you want,
Oh,
but there may be a setting you missed or something. But a lot of times, like when you go to upload like avatars, I wouldn't think it matters much on here. They're really small files, and they'll. I don't know if StreamYard would probably say somewhere what the size of the file is, and it's probably too big.
Oh, okay.
I have that happen all the time. Like if you go to put an avatar on a lot of things, they want these real little low resolution files, and sometimes you have to resize them. Which is also why if I'm at home and I don't feel like going through photos, I just put up some generic bland thing that from somewhere, so I don't need to screw with it.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get a notification again tonight, so I'm glad you let me know.
Yeah, that's supposedly it's because I uploaded quite a few videos today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that could have had something to do with it. So I know you're keeping track of the results.
Oh yeah. In fact, may I play a little short song?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
Let me make sure it's turned up loud enough so my neighbors can hear it.
Okay.
Now, who's going to be the next president of the United States? This nation based on faith. Because he was sure, as Donald Trump turned his head just slightly, that the bullet missed him just enough to save his life to be the next president of the United States. We have believed for so long that God will make some change.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
And he heard us go today. The very good and I sing it. God bless us. And say,
You're fired up tonight.
That's his theme song.
Oh, good. It's firing you up?
Yeah, it's firing me up.
Okay.
Every time he had a rally, they always played that song at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not any Beyonce shit or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, you're representing your beliefs and the open
Yeah.
forum.
Yeah. Yep.
I've been like watching it a little bit. Checking it out here and there. I guess it won't be over till like 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah. It'll be an all night thing.
Yeah, how you feeling about it so far?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
He's already won. They predicted he's got Florida already, and a couple other places.
Oh, okay.
So no, I'm feeling pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you heard any glitches in the voting or problems anywhere?
No, they had some bomb scares.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, in Pennsylvania. Wait, don't quote me. Where was it? I have to go back on my messenger.
Somebody said something. They caught somebody dumping a bunch of absentee ballots in the garbage somewhere.
Yeah, they did. 6,000 of them, but they were recovered.
Oh, where was the location? Do you know?
No, you know what, Tom? I never looked into that.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Accurate reporting. That's a good job.
Yeah. Shit. But yeah, so we'll see. It's exciting. I like watching the. Oh, let me mute this. Okay, he's up in Georgia. 53% in Georgia right now.
Well, Georgia was looking iffy. They was up pretty good, and then down, then tied, and now this.
Yeah, 53 to 47.
Okay.
In Georgia right now. So I've got it on the TV, so I'll keep you updated.
Oh, okay, good.
During your chat.
Well, Rita says that there was a recount in Milwaukee.
Oh, there was. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They'll be having that kind of stuff. I'm sure.
Yeah, I wonder what made them do that. Like,
I don't know.
What happened?
Yeah, something must have happened or something.
Yeah.
or maybe the candidate they didn't want to win didn't win or
Yeah,
something.
that's a good
They
guess.
want to make sure or something. Who knows?
I see they changed a lot of those rules on those auto recounts and stuff. You can't just do it because you lost. You got to
Oh
do
yeah,
it based on some proof,
right.
which I don't
Yeah.
know how you get until you recount them. It's just hard to
Oh,
believe when you consider what's at stake that they just don't pull out all the stops to make sure this can happen so you don't have to recount anything. This is the way it is. We're counting them this way. There are 50 people in the room. We're not doing it over.
right. Okay, North Carolina, he's 51%.
I think he won South Carolina.
And Harris is at 48% in North Carolina. Georgia, your state is looking kind of iffy for Trump.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it was. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So hopefully 52. But see, there's so little the votes, it's still so early,
Yeah. Yeah.
So a lot of the polls have just closed. So ours aren't even closed yet. Our polls here.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I think he won.
Yeah.
I think he did win Florida, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's way ahead in Florida. So I think they said the prediction is he won Florida.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
it'll be fun to watch. Is there has there been any so you said some bomb threats. Where were those? Do you know?
Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, crazy. I guess he's down in Florida. Trump is.
Yeah, he is. Uh-huh. He's been on the TV a few times tonight. Harris hasn't been on once yet.
Now,
But Trump has been on talking and at his headquarters, but Harris hasn't been on yet.
yeah, you know who Joe Rogan is, don't you?
Yeah.
You see, he endorsed Trump today.
Yeah, I saw that.
Why,
Yeah.
why, why would somebody, if you were going to do that, why would you wait until election day to do it?
Well, he's the one that did the big interview with
He did.
Trump.
But why wouldn't you have done it then?
Well, he said he wasn't gonna he never does that about politics. He stays neutral. But the thing is, I think he got, pissed off because, he invited Harris to come on his podcast and she wouldn't do it.
Oh,
Uh, and it got like 70 million views or something.
oh, it
His
did.
Trump, yeah,
I
his
don't.
Trump podcast.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but she couldn't go on and talk 3 hours without not knowing the questions. Come
Yeah,
on, Tom.
yeah, I read that someplace too. Yeah.
Right.
Well, we'll know tomorrow by noon.
We sure will. Yep, we'll either have to have a celebration chat or
Yeah, sure.
no chat at
No,
all.
no, we'll have a celebration chat.
Celebration chat, yeah.
Either way, we'll do.
Oh,
Either
okay.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. That's okay. Well, I got another fan here. You must be blind and drunk. Looks like two homosexuals kissing on that avatar. You see it?
Oh, yeah. You got another fan?
Yeah, this one looks gay.
Oh,
Looks like two guys kissing. That's all right. Better than nothing. No, that's okay. There's still time left. I'm only 68.
oh, yeah. There's still time.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? They just signed up 2 days ago.
Oh, well, I think it's you know what?
Yeah.
Well, now this shows my interest in keeping integrity here. That even when
Yeah.
you think great. You got to go bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
And
Bye-bye.
make note, tell all your buddies it's not because you're gay. Because
Yep.
you started your channel 2 days ago.
Yeah. Go watch the election.
Yeah. Flattery gets these people nowhere.
Yeah, I know. That's for sure.
Yeah. Somebody else sending me some damn things today wanting to video chat. Yeah,
What?
you're not gonna get the old Tom Reed on any of these little simple tricks. No way.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
weird.
Oh, I know.
It's impossible to set me up.
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh my God.
Now, if you want
I
to do
know.
it and you're really pissed and you want to show your friends how crafty you can be, just get somebody my age, about 100 pounds overweight, that's broke. I may meet them for lunch. But knock off the good-looking young girls. It's just, that's the biggest red flag of them all.
Oh God.
Yeah, they're so dumb.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Oh God.
I sent Michelle a text.
Yeah.
I don't know what she's doing out there.
Oh, Michelle. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. She sent me a thing earlier. I told her it was iffy whether I was going to do a chat or not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, then I got bored, and I got all my stuff done. And hey, Alakara, there she is. Why don't you come up, Alakara? We need your good energy.
Yeah, we do.
Everybody likes you. No holes barred. Did you see the link? I don't know. I think, has James got 2 days off? Is he off tonight too, or was it just last night? Yeah. Oh, I'm down. That's okay. I was in a good mood. Yeah, do it. Show us. Give us a little sneak peek.
Yeah.
Jeff came on the other night and played a guitar song.
Yeah, he did.
It's funny. She said, I asked her about that a week ago, and she was kind of vague on whether or not she was going to do it. But I don't think so if she wanted to have a chat. So I don't think so. I don't know where she's at. Could be. I don't know if tonight's a good DoorDash night or not. Hey, Abacadabra.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Oh, he's ahead in Wisconsin now, 57%.
How you doing?
Hey.
Hey, James. You're off tonight too?
Yes.
Oh, good.
He's off tonight too.
How's it going?
We are just. I really like the idea of celebrating it either way. I love it.
Oh,
I
good.
have a big philosophy about all this.
So you're not mad if your candidate loses?
Look, here's the thing. I know which candidate I would like to win, but which candidate I think's going to win. Like I'm almost like there's no way, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, if America's that stupid, I'm going to celebrate that too.
There you go. Yeah. Well,
have fun, guys. Enjoy your candidate. I'll be watching you burn in the corner.
Yeah. Well, it's you don't. Nobody's double guessing where you're coming from.
I mean, I really don't care. I'm not diehard anything because I think they're all pretty bad. But I told Jimmy, I was like, Trump has gotten beaten up so bad. I know why he's winning. He's just trying to say, I will not put up with this. But at the same time, I would have preferred another candidate. But I get it. I get it.
Well, I tell people we're voting for the best of the worst.
Yes, I like that.
And be careful when you buy SD cards. I got a knockoff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I don't know where I got it, but the difference in the price, for SD cards is about 10% if you get them right from SanDisk. And on their good cards, the fast ones, they give a lifetime guarantee, so it's worth it.
I thought you got child porn on one or something.
Yeah, not me. Well, I sent 3 in. They're going to give me replacements on 2.
Well, the child porn? What are you talking about? That'd
be a huge trouble. So
where did you order them from, Tom?
Well, I usually get them off eBay or Amazon.
Uh-huh.
But once in a while, I'll be on the road and something happens to one, so I'll get one at a Best Buy or a Walmart. but they're all SanDisk. Now, if I had to guess, I'll bet you the knockoffs came from eBay.
Ah.
So I'm confused. Did you go to eBay to buy the knockoffs?
Yeah. I think I did. Yeah, I'm not really sure where I got them, because when you get them, they're all like about the same price. It's just, it's an easier process to get them. They come right away. You can give them bad feedback if it's not what you thought you were going to. It isn't like you're getting them for half off. That'd be the biggest flag in the world,
Right.
Well, I don't know where I got them, to tell you the truth. Well, what they do is, like, they never did this before. I've had them eventually wear out. They do. I mean, I wear these things out. If they told me, hey, look, you just use these too much, it's like, fine, yeah, I agree. But you're the ones offering a lifetime guarantee. So, why are you offering that? You know what I mean? So, but if they'd have told me that, I would have, I could have lived with it, because I do. I'm constantly, anytime you put data on them and you're reforming on, and I do it all the time. I mean, with my GoPros, everything.
Right.
I mean, it wears them out. They don't last forever.
So what happens if they wear out? They just band up, or
no? What'll end up happening is you'll get files that don't want to. You'll cut and paste them, and you'll try to upload them, and it'll say no file recognized.
Yeah, Jimmy said he's had that happen. Yeah. It's called corrupting.
Yeah, corrupting, and they just simply, they only have so many writes, and temperature affects them. Dropping them affects them, believe it or not. So there's a bunch of things, but usually you can see it coming.
Have you ever had the little? Don't they have a little gold thing on them? Does that bend up?
Little gold. That's what I get. The 512.
The gold. Those are the contact.
Yeah, the contact got the gold thing. I'm calling them gold things, Jimmy. Contacts, whatever.
Yeah. No, it's basically, most of the time,
yeah,
they're pretty
sometimes
good.
They can get bent or return it.
But I've sent them back before, and I never had a knockoff till today. It's just interesting to me that there must be big money in it. So for somebody to, you can imagine the tooling you have to set up to copy something a big giant corporation like SanDisk makes. My guess is China.
I think it sounds like something you could get off Temu or Wish.
What is that?
Temu and Wish. Yeah, huge apps that sell things for very deep discounted prices, that sometimes you're going to get something good and sometimes you're going to get something crazy. And that's the kind of thing they might do. And I think that you really answered your own question there, because if it was half off.
Yeah, it wasn't though.
But that's the thing. You said if it was half off, you wouldn't have bought it. It'd have been a red flag. So they don't even have to discount it very deep, because you would be suspect if they did.
That's it. That's right.
Yeah.
But it's just, who would you think that could come up and like go where they could produce so many of them? You get that, if you get busted, that's a big deal. You produce so many of them that you're advertising them on eBay, and it takes someone to use them for 3 years to realize you got a fake. But the first time ever they asked for receipts, and I don't have them. I don't keep receipts of that, and I told them I don't have them. So then they asked me to guess when the dates were. So I'll keep receipts next time. Maybe organize, make a little file for SD cards. So I knew if that's the card they were going to pull, I was done. But you know what? All three of them, I wore them out. I got my use. If I'd had to buy brand new ones, I would have.
You're impressive. Trading out your SD cards, but they are kind of expensive, right?
Yeah, but they've certainly come down. I remember 10 years ago, they cost you an absolute fortune.
Jimmy found one at a flea market. It was hilarious. He found one. How many was it? A 0.5 gig?
Yeah.
It was a 0.5 gig SD card that was still in the package.
Yeah.
They had you remember how the memories just gone up and up and up and up.
Oh, yeah. That was probably just as much as
Hey, Jimmy, you sure they write slower? Because that's not what the data shows.
I read about it on. Yeah, I read about that.
Huh? Because that's one of their bragging points, is that our micro.
Well, they have the same speed, but they're slower if you put in an adapter on.
Yeah, I use those sometimes, because what'll happen sometimes is I'll have a big one fail, or I put it in something else, so I'll use the adapter. And I've never noticed that, although I get the class 10 fast cards anyway, so I'm always never near tap.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
That's probably what it is. Yeah, and
yeah,
you really don't know how fast they're writing. you know how fast you're downloading them.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Well, I just want to say if Jimmy read it on the internet, it's the truth.
Absolutely right.
So
For sure. But there's quite a few. Now, are you still off work?
I'll be off work for, yeah, I'm not going back. I'm just figuring out how I'm going to do all that. I'm just not going back.
Oh, you're not, huh?
Nope. And I do sometimes when I'm talking about coming on, I have rough nights and I have nights like tonight. So I just never know what my nights are going to be like.
Yeah, right.
Sounds
like my days.
Mine too.
Nights.
Yeah.
Lonely nights.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to say namaste, Rita.
Oh, you see Reed on there?
Or who is that?
Where?
Yeah, reader.
Yeah, Rita's on here, right?
Come on up, Rita.
Who else is here?
No, I'm Stephanie.
It's Stephanie.
Namaste, Stephanie.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey,
I didn't
JMO,
know
how you
who it
doing?
was.
How you doing, JMO? How's it going?
Well, I tried to put Trump's picture on my avatar, but it didn't work.
Oh, I think that my avatar looks just like Trump.
Hey, Alec,
What-
do you think it's possible for people to stay neutral on friendships with regard to the friend's political interest? Or is it just a bunch of bullshit you agree to and hope you don't get caught?
So I'll tell you a little story about how I do that with my family, because it's tough with your family too, right?
You're right.
So my daughter first thing she told me, she was so excited she was voting for Kamala, whatever her name is. And I was like, oh, okay. I knew that she would. And I was like, that's cool. But we have made an agreement that we don't talk about politics.
Yeah.
But the other day I did send her a little emoji and said, I hope she wins. How exciting. And then she's like, she told my daughter that she thought I was a supporter of Kamala now. She goes, I thought you were a hardcore Trump supporter. And I said, I'm a hardcore nobody supporter, first of all, but I don't want, I support my daughter who wants to support who she wants to support. And, so yeah, you just don't, you keep that out of your conversations.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a father, him and his daughter don't speak over this.
Yeah, that's not acceptable. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you don't
Well,
speak over
that's
stuff,
like,
I think
that's like getting the COVID shot. A lot of families split up over that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter told me she wouldn't see me at Christmas if I didn't get the COVID shot. So I just said that I was just forced to give the COVID shot like other people. Some people who have employees that forced it, I got forced too, because I wasn't going to not see my family because of her dictations. I wouldn't have got it otherwise.
But she had your best interest at heart, didn't she?
I don't know if she did. I mean, in her mind, she did. So what am I going to? I think she had her best interest in mind. She had COVID. Her family had COVID more than any of us did. Constant COVID. I don't really know where they were getting it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't know, but they had COVID a few times. But whether she had my best interest or her best interest, or just her political belief systems that she's confused about or thinks are the truth, I don't know. I don't argue with it. I just want to see my kids at Christmas time. And I thought it was funny. I said I was forced because of that. I was like, I have to.
So
I had a guy.
Go ahead, Steph.
I had a guy that called me. He was losing his job over not getting COVID. He's like, I'm going to have to cut my bills down because I'm losing my job over COVID. And I said to him, look, dude, it's just a shot. I know it feels like you're taking a stance that will make a difference. I said, but you will not make a difference if you don't have a job. So you might want to forgive yourself for, that you're doing it and go ahead and keep your job for that. And I think it made a difference to him because when he looked at it that way.
Yeah, that's a good way of explaining it.
Yeah.
Now, I've been reading some recent studies. The original COVID, I mean, I'm not talking about the shot. I'm talking about COVID when it first came out. If you look at like different heart ailments, pacemakers installed, atrial fibrillation, plaque buildup, valves, femoral and carotid arteries, being passing a stress test one year, and like my buddy getting a double bypass the next. That's what I want. So I mean, all bets are kind of off on what it did,
Well, you know,
diseases.
it might be what's going on with me right now. I have no idea,
No,
or
yeah, you have
anybody
no
else
idea.
is sick. You know,
Yeah, yep.
I don't know.
But aren't you going to need insurance?
So I'm. By the way, first of all, we'd all like to celebrate the fact that Jimmy got his wisdom tooth pulled today.
Oh, congratulations, Jimmy.
I know.
No wonder he's not talking too much. All of them?
No, just one.
Just one.
Okay.
I was putting him on clove oil till I could get him there.
Oh.
But
Was it bothering him?
No, he's good now.
Oh,
He
good.
just likes to hear me talk.
Oh, good.
I don't know if I just don't want to sound rude talking in the background. But if you want me to talk too, I'll do it.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, talk. Feel free.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
He's
But
so sweet, isn't he?
Alakara, you're
So sweet.
do you worry about insurance or not really?
Okay, so I'm a VA. I'm a veteran. So
okay.
and I'm at 70%. No, have no. In fact, they were just talking to me the other day when I was telling them about my psychiatrist and my well, I had made the mistake when I went to the doctor the other day of telling them that I had suicidal ideations, which I am not suicidal, but I'm just telling them everything, you know, just to let
that
them know.
kind of
Like,
paints them into a corner.
yeah, and then they had to see me again because they were like,
They don't
"Oh
want
my
to get
god!"
sued.
And I was like, so the psychiatrist walked in, and I looked at him and I said, "I'm like this in real life too." I said, "I need to see you I need 5 minutes of your time." And he goes, "I need 5 minutes of your time." I said, "What's going on?" And he goes, "Yeah, that's the question," or whatever. And then I said, "You know, I know Skinner, and I named off a couple of different one of those theorists or whatever." I said, and I said,
B.F. Skinner.
I said, "I know Maslow." I said, "And I am self-actuated, so I am fine." And he goes, "Oh, are you?" I said, "Yeah." "And I know one you don't know. I know Alfie Kohn." And he goes, "Well, Alfie Kohn, I have that book. I don't let anybody even read it. That's my favorite theorist." He goes, "And I just protect that thing." I go, "Oh, did you know I emailed him a couple of times?" Which I did. And his mouth just dropped. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
But what he told me in the meantime is that I may be able to keep my therapist and my psychologist. They might have the military pay for them because they have this community thing where you can go out in the community.
Mm-hmm.
And even though they have mental health, because of the fact I've seen them for so long and bipolar is so hard to treat, that they may actually try and get me to stay with them even after I get back into the system, which is what I really wanted. Was worried about losing the most was them.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be amazing.
You're
that'd be great.
bipolar 1.
Yeah, that's what they say.
All right.
I think or 2.
So-
I'm the worst one.
So
Whatever
you're
that
officially diagnosed now as bipolar?
is. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Well, now you'll be
It's
covered
just
under the
finding out
American.
this.
You'll be covered under the American Disabilities Act.
Yeah. My mom has bipolar as well.
Oh, okay.
What would
But
yeah,
hers is
poor
a little-
Jimmy.
Hers is a little different though.
What would that offer you?
Yeah.
Well, if you disclose that to your employer, I mean, they got to make a bunch of accommodations. I mean, you could maybe still lay in bed and get paid.
Well, I'm doing that now.
Yeah, but that won't last forever.
So how do I
How do you get it? Well, I mean,
are you talking about long-term disability? Because I'm gonna go on that.
yeah, but what you mean through Social Security?
No,
Or the-
through my job. Until I get to retirement
gotcha.
age. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, Rita wanted to know what branch of the
Navy.
military were you? Oh, Navy.
Mhm.
And what did you do?
I was a mineman, so I basically worked on underwater mines. It's really a great job to have when you get out. There's lots of those. But what I did was I think I should get special treatment because I painted more mines than anyone I know. I was a painter.
Does that mean
Green
looking for them?
hands every night.
Does that mean looking for them?
No, we actually built them. It was the only non-seagoing rate in the Navy. And the reason I got it was only 500 people that were in it. And the reason I got it was my mechanical abilities, apparently, which I didn't know were that great, but doesn't surprise me because my dad was a mechanic. I scored really high on that. So they wanted me to I built underwater mines. I painted underwater mines. I always stayed on the on the ground. I didn't ever go to sea.
Oh, well, and how long did you do that for?
3 years, 2 months, 9 minutes. I don't know.
Oh, so it wasn't like 20 years or something.
No, I went ahead and got out. I wish I would have stayed in, but they wanted to send me to the brig and work at the brig, and I was not. I had an episode over that. Like I couldn't imagine, helping people in the brig and what that would mean to me. Having people that were in the brig and did not have the support and were, treated badly. I can't stand that. I just, it's not good. In fact, I'm on 70% disability for PTSD and anxiety and things like that. And those are the reasons why I couldn't keep that job.
Was that classified information, I'm assuming?
What?
When you did the mind stuff?
Probably the parts like the underwater mind, like inside the mind, those probably were. Yeah. I think there was confidential stuff that I worked with. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
I told everybody because, no, I'm just kidding. I didn't. Right. I did get in trouble for throwing away a confidential piece of paper accidentally and got kicked out of an office. So I got sent to the I got sent to supply, and they really liked me over there. And this little Filipino guy, which was the chief there, he took me. These are such crazy stories. He took me to the supply place and gave me a $1 million credit limit just to screw him. I never spent it. That's what he did. You got $1 million credit limit. You come over here and spend money if you want. I'm like, no, not going to happen.
Did you go in right out of high school?
No, I'd had both my kids, and my ex-husband was in the Marines, and I was just looking. I always wanted to go in the military, and that was the other thing. I had to sign them over to him. I think that's wrong. Like as a mother, I had to sign them over to him in order to go in, and then he wouldn't give them back. So we had big custody battles for a while after that.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And where was your training?
My training was in Orlando. Well, I had boot camp in Orlando and then training here in Charleston.
Was boot camp hard for you?
So, again, I was scared it would be because I'm an overachiever. And the first day we have this race, and I'm running thinking I'm way behind everybody, and I get to the front. I get to the end of the race, and everybody's like way behind me. So it was hard because I don't think I can achieve.
Oh, wow.
And it was hard for me. It was hard for me to look at the people who were holding guns. That was another thing that really upset me because they would have punishment, and these people would be holding guns outside in the heat, and I would cry. Like, they don't deserve that. Now I just go grab the gun and shoot everybody around them.
Right. You've grown.
Yeah, I've grown.
Now, this was their suggestion you do something else?
For what?
For the mines? Or you just decided it was time to go on your own?
When I got out of the military, I had my son. So I got out. They were suggesting I go to the brig, and they wouldn't give me another choice, and I wasn't going to do that. Well, I had my son. I got out, and I did home daycare for the Navy, and I had so much money, I felt like a drug dealer. Like there was hand over fist money in that.
Wow. So you're not, you probably won't go back to any kind of career, right?
Actually, I have a master's in adult education, and I'm kind of thinking about going at least there part-time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
I'd
did
love
that,
to teach.
Yeah. Are you going to get an attorney for your disability?
I already have. It's interesting you asked that because I already had, already got the 70 without an attorney.
Yeah.
I've heard you need to get an attorney, but then my therapist actually gave me a name of somebody who will do it for you. Yeah. Knows exactly how it has to be done, and then they will just ask for a percentage.
Yeah. Do you get anywhere with your therapist? Do you think it's worthwhile?
If she could be my best friend, I would make her my best friend. I love that woman to death. And if nothing else, it's nice to have somebody to talk to that is my best friend and also gives me, room to really look at what's going on in my life and how, I like her.
So you think you've improved because of her?
I mean, I have completely degraded since I've been at Verizon, but I think she keeps me on even keel.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
That's a
Well, I mean,
term.
if you didn't like working there, I'm sure that probably contributed to things.
Yeah.
I loved working there. I hated the people who were in charge, but I loved my customers.
Oh, it was fun, huh?
I actually had one time I had this, I've had lots of things happen. Like one time I had a 5-year-old call with his dad and the guy goes, I think we have the wrong number. We were trying to call the moon. I was like, no, you didn't have the wrong number. And I played the moon for like 5-10 minutes with them. It was so fun. And then one time I've had guys call in and they're like, they need a mom. I can hear they need a mom. And I'll tell them, look, I'm being your mom right now. And then I had one guy leave me a heart on he said, thanks for being a great mom or something like that. It was really sweet.
Oh.
So my customers and I get along really. I learned early on when I went into customer service, I'd never been into customer service before.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know how to do it. And believe it or not, I had some tax issues. And I called the collections in tax, and I loved them so much. I wanted to get off the phone and drink wine with them when I was done. They were just great.
Yeah.
And I told myself that's the kind of customer service person I want to be.
Right.
And so most of the time they want to drink a beer, be my best friend. You have my number, and I'm like, I can't ethically call you.
Now, I can remember like 15 or 20 years ago, it was a much different experience when you called Verizon than it is now.
Yes.
Is that just cost cutting?
They have done a lot. I agree. Verizon does a really, really good job of training.
Yeah.
Really good job. Really good job, or they did. But I think for me, it's the outsourcing that has put us in the dumpster. Not that I have a problem with outsourcing, but this is a very difficult job, which you can't just do. There's a lot of gray areas at every turn, and you can't just be black and white with it.
Gotcha. Are they ethical?
I've seen them not be ethical too.
Okay.
Like I was told I was going to get a credit for myself personally, and they never did.
Gotcha.
So,
do they catch salespeople lying?
Yeah, well, I don't know if they admit it, but I think they encourage it. Everybody gets a free tablet, right? Everybody forgets to tell you about that line you're getting with that free tablet. Everybody gets a free phone with a line, but nobody tells you what that promotion's really about. No, it's a numbers game and it's a line game, but it's not illegal for a used car salesman to lie to you about the car you're going to buy at the dealership. I don't know that it's illegal to lie to people about the tablet they're going to get. And I just tell people, look, if you're getting something from Verizon, you're not going to walk away without a line you have to pay for, no matter how free it is.
Right. Who do you think their biggest competition is?
Honestly, I think I've heard that it's T-Mobile. I don't know, but T-Mobile, but I don't know. I think they all suck. So it's hard to call any of them.
I thought they bought T-Mobile.
They did not. T-Mobile bought Sprint.
Okay. And how about these phones you see you can get at Walmart and stuff? Is it just like everything else that they've figured a market and what you're willing to pay, and everybody kind of gets the same thing no matter where you go? Verizon, they get you $200 a month. Walmart, if you don't have much money, they get you $50 a month, and you're getting the same thing other than the phone with all the bells and whistles.
No. So what happens is you're talking about a prepaid versus a postpay account.
Yeah.
So that it may be the same phone, and I agree, it's probably the same phone. Did you know that you could go, if you had a Verizon postpay account and you went to Walmart and you bought a $50 phone, right?
Yep.
And then you bought you went ahead and bought 1 month's worth of prepay on it.
Yeah.
That it would unlock and you could put it on your postpay.
Oh, really?
Yes.
But are those? Can you get as good a phone that way? Are the same phones available like in Walmart and everywhere else? Is that
I,
you get through it?
it just, I mean, I think you're going to pay a little bit less for a better phone than you would, but it would still be, what you're not going to get if you go to Walmart. Let's say you go to Walmart, you get an iPhone 16. They're going to charge you $400 for it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then and that's better than what they're charging for iPhone 16 on postpay. But the problem is, if you have a trade-in of an iPhone 15 that you've already paid for, you're going to get that iPhone 16 for free on a promotion where they will credit you every month for that phone price. But you will also have to go ahead and change your plan if you're not on the right plan. If you don't have a trade-in, you may have to add a line. There's so many different finances. It's not, like I said, it's not black or white. But in my opinion, I would go for the $400 phone that's the same as the other phone, just because I think a lot of times people overpay for that free phone and they don't even realize it.
Right. Now, for about at least the last 10 years or so, or whenever phones kind of got expensive, maybe 15 years ago, Verizon claims in their sales pitch they don't make any money on the phone.
No, they may not. It may be that they're making that on the different doodads like insurance or
Yeah.
cloud or
Yeah.
the line price. So yeah, they may not make, and they used to give, and what I think's funny, I call us a lobster in a water, right? How it boils and then you don't
Yeah.
even notice. Because years ago when you got a free phone and you had that early termination fee, it's kind of the same thing. They didn't make any money off that phone. They made it on you being on that plan, but you had that early termination fee. So I really like the fact that they do the device payments now, because you can buy that out. You'll lose your promotion price, but you can buy that out if you want to do something else.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, unlike the early termination where you were stuck with it no matter what.
Oh, okay. So they've kind of like moved with the flow of everybody else.
And I think one of the things that's really great is we've always had our customers, and I'm not even complaining about Verizon except for this Adeline shit. But that's just something that's coming in for the philosophy of the leaders. But as far as the what were we talking about, man? Tell me again.
The Adeline shit.
We had the Adelaide shit, but right before that, we were talking about the fact that it's not a bad company. It's interesting how I can't keep a train of thought.
No, I do that sometimes.
I do that all the time.
So they've gotten better or worse for the customer?
I think they haven't got the philosophy of this Adeline. Every time you call, I guarantee if you're calling Verizon, they're going to offer you a line. And the other day, I had my sister. She had called them because there's this really weird thing going on with my mom's phone where they need to move it over to their plan.
Yeah.
But what that whole company has done is it has bought a business. It started a business account.
Yeah.
So her phone is on this business account. It's not even on like a separate carrier. So when they add a line, what they do is they don't add a line. They transfer it over from the business account, which she didn't know and I didn't know until he started talking about it. I was like, oh, that's what's going on. So that being said, the guy who they called from Verizon added a line, a temporary line, because when you add a temporary line, you can port it over that line. Well, what he in essence did was actually charge him for a line he's never going to use, because the way they do it, it's free to transfer a line over, and you can't cover another phone number with that. That's just not going to happen. And that's, to me, part of the fallout with them having add a line, because they don't even discover why you want that line now. You say this is happening, and they look for an opportunity to add a line, and they're going to add it, and they don't even help you figure out what's going on.
Yeah, when you sign up for Verizon, like brand new, what are the percentages of it's a brand new number or it's a number somebody else had before?
Oh God, that's a good question. The only thing I
'Cause I'm
have to
telling
say
you,
about
I'd pay a premium for a number that nobody had before.
I don't think that happens anymore. And I also, ironically, I think that if you, yeah, I don't know what that would be. That's a good question. Oh, what I was going to tell you though, something about lost and stolen phones, right? That came to mind because with lost and stolen phones, Canada has this thing where they have a national registry for people who reported stolen phones.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing they do here in America is it goes to carrier. So say somebody saw your beautiful iPhone 16 laying on the table and they pick it up. I don't know why I'm on the iPhone 16. It's a thing. So they would pick it up. They could take it to T-Mobile, put a T-Mobile chip in it, and use it just like it was never stolen because it wasn't on T-Mobile.
Really?
Yeah, it sucks. I hate it.
Oh.
Huh. Now is the but if you get the extra line, they are promoting that hard, like $10 a month or something.
Mm-hmm.
You can give out the number and it rings and everything, just like your other line, right?
Mm-hmm. So what's happening with the $10 line is they're actually adding a second line to your phone. So they're activating your phone twice on your account. With the $10 a month, what you're not getting any data on it. You're getting text and calls. The nice thing about the $10 line to me would be that you could give somebody an extra number. If you didn't want people that you didn't want, you could give them that number and then you wouldn't have that spam from that. But it doesn't stop the spam in general, even though they will try and say that. The best way to stop the spam itself is to just do the digital, there's a digital secure, and you won't really, Verizon tries to stop that, right?
Yeah.
But they can't, but they will stop numbers in midair if they can. They've got technology where they're trying to stop those numbers in midair.
Yeah.
But if they can, at least they're going to say potential spam and you don't have to answer them.
Gotcha. But I tell you, I get more spam calls now than ever.
Well, if you have Verizon and you have digital secure, I would download that.
Yeah, I got that fucking thing, but the motherfucker still rings all day long.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when people call me and they want me to fix that, they're yelling at me. They're like, "Why can't you fix this?" And I'm like, "Dude, I think it's a bane on humanity, just like you do. I wish I could give you more answers on that. We don't do anything with that." And I've never had anybody be mad at me when they got off the phone because I empathize with that. But also know that the FCC is really the one, and they're so overwhelmed, and they're trying to find people, but you can't find people in Korea with
Yeah, that's it.
I
think the worst thing that ever came out is one of these fucking things where you're a spammer and you can change the numbers 10,000 different numbers a day.
Oh, it's horrible. Horrible. That was all part of the CIA. That original software was part of the CIA, and that's when it really got bad. Is when that was deprioritized and people started picking that up to be able to do stuff like that.
Well, they made it available through apps.
Yeah. Well, because the CIA had to deprioritize or so.
Do you think Verizon sells customer data?
I know they do.
Including your phone number?
I know they do, but you can actually go on and request for it not to be sold on your app.
Yeah.
But if you don't, they're going to.
Gotcha. I've always wondered, even with these telemarketer scammers, and like what they pay for a phone number they know that works, and is the identifying information stripped? In other words, they've got a phone number that's active and working, but do they really know who it belongs to? Because that's what Google does. Like, say tonight you're looking up 14-inch black dildos.
Yeah.
And tomorrow you get up in the morning and, hey, guess what? You get a bunch of ads for 14-inch black dildos.
Dude, you don't even have to look it up. All you have to do is think it in your head.
Yeah, it's going there.
It has been there.
But what happens to that is they've got your MAC address, your IP address. But before they resell it to anybody, they're selling the data. But the people they're selling it to, they only know your MAC address and your IP address. They don't know who you are. They just know you're looking at 14-inch dildos.
Well, I just want to thank you, Tom, for allowing 14-inch black dildos to be coming
anytime,
Yeah.
I mean, you need them and you want them, and it's nice to not to have to continually scroll all day.
Yeah.
On your own volition.
There. And if you get one like that and you don't like it, pink ones will show up tomorrow, or gray ones, or yellow ones, or purple ones, or whatever. Yeah. Perfect.
But that's why YouTube, they can afford to make it free, because they're making bank on selling the stuff you use to become a channel or a subscriber. You've given them the most important thing they could ever ask for, your
Myself.
name and you've registered an email with them, and they've sold that 1 billion times.
There's a couple of there's Nordic, which people, advertise. I think that has worked a little bit, but let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
With becoming a channel,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, I could get in trouble for talking about this about Verizon. I never know.
Yeah,
But,
well, we're leaving anyway.
Yeah, true. Thanks.
Don't talk about anything that really bury you.
Oh, I don't think I will. I think I didn't, right? No, I didn't. I didn't talk about anything I wouldn't talk about on the phone. No,
Okay.
Forget it.
All right.
So when starting a channel, first Jimmy and I were talking about it.
Yeah, you should start one.
I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, you ever think bringing back the old sex days for Jimmy and just going with OnlyFans instead?
Jimmy's laughing his ass off over here. He's really laughing his ass
Definitely
off.
more money in it.
He loves you so much. I just want you to know that.
Oh, thank you. He could really pass himself off as Iggy Pop, and it'd be so scandalous, and you get so much free publicity that Iggy Pop is now making porn. He blew all his money on dope. Just some bullshit story that got it rolling.
Yeah.
And he is from Michigan, and Jim's from Michigan. So when they got on and did their Ben Verified search, it adds up. You guys are looking at a gold mine. Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't seem to bode too well for long-term relationships. Going with your significant other on a sex channel.
Drugs or
sex channel.
I think drugs or sex channel isn't going to bode too much for a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
Neither one.
Right.
I mean, they're both kind of I don't know. Did you meet anybody in Detroit that was in a good relationship? I was rooting for that one couple.
Oh, Maddie and Gerald?
I think it was a black guy and a white girl.
Yeah, that's Maddie and Gerald.
Yeah, I was rooting for them, man.
Yeah, me too.
Every time I'd see them,
they're actually nice people.
They looked really nice. They seemed. I think he was. She seemed nice. He seemed nice. I really did think they were very nice people.
Yeah, they were. It's just that's another textbook example of that lifestyle. Have you looked at them lately?
Haven't.
Yeah, don't.
Sad. Yeah, actually, I haven't seen them lately.
I don't follow them since you're not interviewing them.
After a while, I knew back then. You can only go to the well so many times.
Yeah.
And once you know everything about them, how they got there, they're not leaving. It's just why. And if you remember, Jim, when I was doing those at the beginning, I always encouraged everyone to start their own channel. It was never like, I'll pay you more. You got to go through me. You don't want your own channel, blah. I put links to everybody's channel that wanted to start one.
Yes.
I don't know where it did them any good or not. It's a mixed bag they're adults, right? They're going to do what they want. And let me ask you an honest question. If they call it enabling, and I'm not saying I ever did it, but let's say you were friends through whatever means with someone like her, and you came into a bunch of money, and you could pay her a salary to not go out and have sex, but she still was going to continue to be a heroin addict. Even though that sucks too, her life in a way is much better. She's going to not get murdered, maybe catch less sexually transmitted disease, hopefully skip hepatitis C. Do you still consider that a form of enabling, or just being a good person and doing in a small way a good thing?
There are so many contexts to that question that it's hard to really, to say whether that's enabling or not. I drive them crazy because I have helped so many people, or paid people that they thought I shouldn't pay, or did something for people I shouldn't have done. And my thing is I enable you until you don't buy out of, you buy out of the contract. So if you really want to change and you want to not do drugs, and we've talked about it, and you're like, and you feel a connection, then you do it, and then I guarantee you they'll be out doing the damn sex anyway, and then that's when it has to stop. That's when I consider it enabling, is when you give somebody an opportunity and then they fuck up.
Gotcha. And here's another way I look at it too. I got plenty of enemies, and they were always accusing me of enabling, but I mean, is what she does, other than the dope use. I always told these women that were fucking with me all the time, you've been sucking dick for free your whole life.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not the act in and of itself.
I mean, I don't think I would put a, that would be a slow process. I don't think I'd say, stop the sex. I'm going to give you money. Just do heroin. I don't think it could ever work like that, because it'd be a slow process of different layers, of different levels.
But for the sake of argument.
No, I don't think that's wrong.
I don't either.
I think that's love. I think that's showing somebody they're worth something to you.
Watching those videos, did you ever think to yourself a plan B that never occurred to me? Like maybe another, when I first started doing that, honestly, it was just a genuine interest in running into those people and really just wondering how you get here. How do you not get out? I mean, when you, in this culture, as a young female, when you're on a corner and you didn't grow up too far from there and everybody knows you're sucking 20 dicks a day, to me, that's interesting. I mean, that is out there. It's no bullshit. Like it or not, it's real. And that's what interested me about it. I just couldn't believe somebody. I mean, I say all the time, that's probably the most honest people I'll ever run into, other than the lies they told for drug money. Because sooner or later it starts out, they get to be very good at trying to get you to buy into them going to rehab. And once that ship sails, they know it's over. And that's what drugs do to your mind. So, but my original idea when I was going down there was just not going down there to try to save anybody. Then I kind of felt sorry for them. People sent donations. And then it got, well, this really sucks. I mean, people aren't even getting a little bit better. Well,
your expectations were the problem. Yeah. Because they were never going to get better, but they've already done and settled into the way of life that they were comfortable with, that you would never be comfortable with. I would never be comfortable with, but that was okay for them. So again, you give with unconditionalness, you don't give with expectations, and you're going to get a lot farther than you would if you're trying to say, well, I've got this expectation if you do this. Although I have done that with people. Yeah. And I have not found that they are really that it really ever works, even though I've not done it on purpose. It's just like the way that the relationship went. I didn't ever go tell anybody, you got to change and I'll give you this. However, it's signed in that contract. Those what those are. But with those ladies there, I would love to hang out with them and have a beer. Like, I agree with you. The most honest people in the world, the people that really don't give a shit what other people think about them because they have to make a living, or maybe they do give a shit and I can give them a little bit of me back,
Yeah, right. Yeah, yep. I mean, they're not bad people.
No. You said rehab, so I have an interesting question I have a question in my mind about rehab. So I know there was one lady who was, I think it was her daughter and her.
Yeah, that was Amber.
And she was going to go to rehab?
Yeah.
Whatever happened with that?
Well, the mom actually got her 2 daughters back, and last I knew was doing fine, but the daughter's still out there having babies.
So, okay, so the mom got her 2 daughters back. I think she was the one that you were talking to her about, like, is that worth it to get your daughters back? And were you?
Well, I want to make sure you're not talking about Kelly and Sarah, who died.
I think that's who.
Yeah, Sarah died.
Was she the mom?
No, she was the daughter.
Was she sick with something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Untreated infection from abscesses from heroin use that just got out of control, got into the bone marrow and blah, blah, blah. And Kelly's just ripping off people and lying and scamming people like she's always done.
So she's the one that sounded pretty convincing though, right?
Well, I mean, you want the best for them. And, after being around that long running that game, you get pretty good at a sales pitch.
Right. I'm not saying that, I'm just saying I felt like her sales pitch was good.
Yeah. I mean, they're not dumb and they're good at what they do. I mean, if they,
right. Right.
Yeah,
Because
I
if
mean,
I
but
bought it,
it took, I just saw too many examples uh, of her it's just, she slipped up a couple times, and then
right.
it's like, well, I'm done with you, and I'm glad that I did, because it probably could have lasted a lot longer.
Well, see, here's the thing. That's what I call breaking the contract when you slip up like that.
Yeah, but
Like,
that's the nature of the
oh,
beast.
yes,
I mean, these
exactly.
are like 30 and 40-year-old working girls.
Right, right. Which would be great. I mean, they should have their own show, the real
No, I agree.
prostitutes of
No, they could have
Detroit.
done that. Yeah, no, they would. I
Why
mean, it'd
don't
be
we have
just,
the real
yeah,
prostitutes of Detroit? That'd be great.
it would be. You wouldn't need to fake anything.
Yeah,
Yeah, just
exactly.
follow around and be yourself.
They all get
Follow
in
them on
trouble
their,
with the law,
yeah,
all of them.
black out the faces of the Johns.
Yeah.
No, it's a shit life, though. I'll tell you that.
I
Yeah,
mean, I mean, I'm gonna ask. I've always, it's all perspective, right?
right.
Everything's a shit life if you have the perspective, and I think if you're continuing to do that, it may be a shit life. If you watch I was gonna ask you if you watch White Underbelly.
A couple of times. Yeah, I don't really care for that guy.
Interesting.
I mean, that's like a production, and you can do what you want to do. And mine was just out fucking around.
It was completely
editing,
different.
turning on a camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that turned me off about him, really, I didn't like him anyway, so I can't lay everything on this. But when he, these interbred people in the Appalachians.
Oh, that was so
family.
crazy.
And when he took him shopping, and it was just like, I mean, he did everything but, get tattoos put on their foreheads.
Well, let me tell you what happened with him, because I think he did and I think he was doing it for the same reason you were doing it, just a different way. He was trying to get people to support them, and he got people to support them. And I think they really started taking advantage of him. And at one point, one of the drug addict daughters of one of the brothers of her called him and tried to get him to give her money because she had some emergency, but it ended up being that she just wanted money for drugs. And the Carol, who I think her name's Carol, one of the main inbreed women, she was a party to it and allowed it to happen. And he was really mad about that. And he always goes back and forth whether he should let them not, be or not be. There's a couple of other people he talks to that he just like, everyone's encouraging them not to talk to them. I think he's in deeper as far as this enabling, and he really cares as well, but he does, and he probably has a little different specific way to take care, money wise, but I don't know where he gets his money. But at the same time, I think he has a good heart in mind.
Yeah.
He's a little bit more of a showboat. You're right. He has taken the approach not of look at these real people, but of look at these people who are real, that he wants you to see them in another light, kind of.
But I can understand that even clearly with prostitutes, but not a bunch of interbred Appalachian people at Walmarts.
Well, that was a distaste. I mean, if you hadn't been following him, and I did find that distasteful at all as well, because what he did, it felt like exploitative, right?
Yeah, that's what it seemed like to me. I mean, there was what are you letting us know is going on here that's helpful in any way?
I think it was for the people that wanted to see that kind of thing, that wouldn't have done it themselves.
Yeah.
I think you have to be a little bit exploitative for people who don't understand.
And another thing too about the guy, he's have you ever seen the guy?
Yeah, he's cute.
Yeah, he's a guy, the frosted hair, the t-shirt 2 sizes too small that you wore to show your biceps in the 8th grade.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it was hard for me not to think this guy's a fucking total douche.
I get you. I mean, unlike you, who looks at porn and
Baywatch. You know what I mean? Fucking Baywatch, going out and interviewing people.
You were jealous of his what are those called, guns? You were jealous of his guns.
Yeah. I mean, this is how you dress, when you first start lifting weights in the 10th grade.
Yeah.
I mean, something's a little off with this guy.
I mean,
Mhm.
I mean, I'll just tell you one thing that I mean, I get his perception of what he's doing, and I don't watch him all the time.
Yeah.
And I liked your show seemed a lot more, tons more authentic.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think it was on the same stream of wanting to help people, just a different approach. But
One other thing too. One other thing
yeah,
that got
what?
me. YouTube came out. One time, they promoted that stuff. Well, not anymore. I mean, YouTube's changed just like Verizon's changed. They don't want that. They don't want sex talk, really, drug talk, and if you potentially offend anybody. So they basically cut out all his monetization. I just quit doing it anyway because it wasn't worth jumping through those hoops.
Yeah.
And then he started asking for PayPal.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
I hate that. I don't understand why are there all these. What do they call the that dollar in my Patreon type thing?
Yeah.
That's what
It's just such a major turn.
There's a lot of people that do that.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden you want to charge people to see these good works you're doing.
Right.
But he did go to it seemed like out of just like legit curiosity, it turned into a corny business.
I probably would agree with that 100%. I'll tell you one that I thought was really sad that they demonetized, but I think they've come back around. Was this one called ABC for Kids or something?
Yeah.
Have you seen it where he interviews kids that have different disabilities?
No.
And and I mean, they can have bad disabilities, but he'll interview them with their parents or whatever, because he used to be a special ed teacher.
Yeah.
And really feels like these kids need to be exposed so that they can have people see them normally and see what they do and, kind of give kids a better response or better perception of them. And he got like his comments. I mean, people would send the most crazy nice comments about that,
Really? And then, we were talking about this the other night. I mean, kind of along the same subject. In this culture, in our culture, it came up where we were talking about the Special Olympics, right? Which I guess is good. And, everybody, it's particularly the people that are involved, you get a big hug, everybody gets first place. Great. That's great, right? But when you've got a society that puts on this feigning of support for this stuff, and you can't get a ticket to the World Series, but anybody can show up there and sit what you want. But the thing that puts the cherry on the top that makes me think that it's half bullshit is that in this culture, you can get an amniocentesis. And if everybody wanted to terminate the birth of these kids, there would be no Special Olympics. So what is it, America? Is it these people have virtue, they're worthy, and you're going to show us what happens when they're allowed to live? Or you're going to wipe them all off the planet right from the get-go, and there's going to be no Special Olympics? I don't think as a culture you can have it both ways, although we do. You follow me?
You know what? I am trying to wrap all that around my head because
I mean, which is it? I mean, these people are special and they're entitled to this, or they're not quite fitting the mold of what we were looking for, and you terminate their birth during pregnancy.
Well, first of all, it wouldn't be all people.
Legal medical test.
All people would not be able to tell by amniocentesis, but it would be a lot. You're asking that people terminate a pregnancy due to the fact that it be okay because
Down syndrome is an example.
Right.
Yeah, you don't need a reason. You can just do it. And those are a percentage of the people in the Special Olympics.
Well, you're also talking abortion, you're talking religion, you're talking women's, I don't know that all women would be okay with an abortion for whatever reason.
No, if you were a stout Catholic, you wouldn't.
And I'm not,
and if you ever look at Catholic families, and at least the old school Catholic churches.
Right, I understand, but
Down syndrome kids all over the place.
What I'm saying is we would have to change our culture pretty heavily, and since we don't, the other option is to support and to support these kids that have special needs in order to make them part of society.
Right, but I mean,
and you're right. We wouldn't have a Special Olympics, but at the same time, at this point, there would never be. I had an abortion, and it was just because my ex-husband did not want me to have a baby. I didn't want the abortion. I've regretted it ever since then. However, it was emotionally difficult. However, I don't know whether that baby was healthy or not, and that happened. So women go out there and get abortions for all kinds of reasons.
Yeah, they do.
But there's some reasons why women wouldn't get abortion no matter what that child was like, because they would feel like if they lived 2 minutes, it's more important and more special to have that time with that child. And is that selfish? Probably.
That's Catholic women you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about a lot of women, Christian women too.
Well, I mean, yeah, well, but you're done there already, because Christians believe that life occurs at the moment of conception, and I don't.
Yeah, exactly. So that you would have to have a change in societal belief system across the board, where everybody believed that life didn't start at the time of conception, in order to ever see that to happen.
Well, it did happen for a while. Now it's back to not happening again.
Well, it was never legal. That wasn't a legal ruling.
Well, Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, it wasn't a legal ruling. They decided the reason why that went away is they decided that the Supreme Court did not have the right to make that ruling based on our constitutional rights. But don't ask me to tell you exactly, but that's what happened. And again, I don't agree with this Republican belief system. Nobody should have an abortion, and I'm going to fire you. I'm going to put you up to a firing squad if you do. I think we still need to, and I don't want to call it women's right. I just want to call it life rights. Right. We should all have but I think you should have to tell the father if you know the father.
Yeah.
But I think that you shouldn't. Women's body, that's not your body. That's something else that's inside of you, whether you believe it's a child or not. And there was another person involved in that, putting that something else in you. And both people need to make that decision.
What if the woman doesn't want it, but the guy that impregnated her does?
Then I think that at that point, he either has to be compensated for child support for the time that child would be alive, or she has to give that baby to him.
Interesting. So I'm assuming you don't think it should be used for birth control.
No, I don't. I mean, that's what it ended up being, as birth control. But I don't think that was an appropriate way to approach it myself. But who am I? I'm a 60-year-old woman with a hysterectomy. I can't have kids, so I don't have a say.
The pressure's off.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy laughs when he says you can't have kids because you have to have sex to have one.
Yeah. You said what?
You got to have sex to have kids.
Jimmy asked me one time, you can't get pregnant?
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Rita wants to know if women should be punished for having an abortion. By who?
Absolutely not, except for, again, what I said was there are two people involved here, and those two people need to be involved together. And if the woman knows who that father is and ignores that, then yes, there should be some sort of reparations for the father who didn't get a say in it.
Yeah, but I've got an idea that a lot of abortions, the guy never knew a thing about it.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying that. But if he finds out and wants to take her to court, I think he should get I bet it'd stop a lot of that shit.
A lot of what shit, like not wearing rubbers?
Well, that should happen too, that rubber thing.
Yeah, so where does birth control pills play into this? Because conception never occurs, so that's okay. I mean, is that what the Christian girls were taking?
I think, yeah. How about the day after pill? I wonder about that one too. I'm like, are you just really aborting a baby? Like, what are you doing?
Like a 2-cell baby.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's still, if you believe life in conception and you're going to make yourself feel better by taking a day after pill, a morning after pill, then you're going to hell. That's what's going to happen. You're going to go to hell.
You think you would?
I think you would. You'd have to. You broke your own belief system.
But, I mean, when abortion first became legal, if you calculated the approximate age of the people that would have lived had those births occurred, crime went way down. I mean, it isn't, everybody doesn't grow up to be a neurosurgeon, no matter how they come into this world in an unwed mother. I'm not arguing for it, but there's a relationship between fucked up people being born out of wedlock compared to the general population.
What do you think about eugenics?
Yeah, I got mixed feelings on that.
What do you think about when they used to take all these kids away from their parents and put them in workhouses because they were kids that were not considered to be worth anything because of their parents' poor behavior?
So messed up.
Yeah. That's not good. But, you know, again, the standard you're using is that everybody that's born to a married couple has this fantastic life, which is also false.
You said that, not me.
But a lot of people say it. I mean, just because you're with the people that brought you into this world doesn't mean it's some panacea of happiness. I mean, the example is the one like you just gave.
Right.
Taken away from your parents. Sometimes that's good. It isn't always a case of doom.
Well, I think that what's that great movie that they did, the Green
Mile?
No, with the kids and everybody like had babies in this hospital. Nobody knew whose baby was who, and then they handed out all the babies to different people, and they were all perfect, and every family was perfect. But you know, if it wasn't a perfect baby, they would kill it. They wouldn't let anybody have it. Kind of interesting like that.
Find out the name of that. Sounds good.
It's Green. I had it.
Anybody heard of that before? Yeah.
Hold on, let me look.
Well, you know what else is interesting? You know, the federal government's concerned about the low birth rate now for, you know, every reason you can think of. Population's declining. I mean, as a society, you need to replace the population, and that's not happening at the rate you need it to sustain, well, the United States like we're used to.
Absolutely. Japan's already suffering with that problem.
Oh yeah, Japan thought they would go ahead and limit the births because they would end up being less problems. But at the end of the day, it didn't end up being less problems. They ended up having a lot of males who can't find females.
The Odd Life of Timothy Green.
No, it's not that one. I don't even know if Green's in it now.
Oh, why'd you do that to us?
I don't know, because I'm a terrible person. I'm sorry.
How long ago did this happen?
What?
Movie came out. When did it come out?
It's been a while.
Okay. Sounds good, though.
It's really a good movie.
What was it, like a cult flick that you had to...
I think I just got it because I wanted to.
Well, thank you, JMO, for looking. Yeah, that sounds interesting. More questions than answers. It really is.
Soylent Green?
Soylent Green isn't it, but that's another great movie if you watch the old one.
Oh, very good. Thanks, Frisky. I'm sure you don't remember who was in it.
No. You know what, Jimmy? It's probably... Go get that thing out of the camper because I think I've got it in that.
I don't. What is Soylent Green? What's that about?
Oh gosh, Soylent Green is so good. Soylent Green is about the ends of the earth basically, and people are all. There's a problem with people not having enough money. If you eat a strawberry, it's special. Like there's nothing like there used to be.
Yeah.
I can ruin the end of you with you because you'll have to find out what Soylent Green is. I watched that when I was like 10. It was so good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sounds like a sad movie.
It's crazy.
You never saw it, Jim?
Nope. I should watch it though.
Yeah. Where could you even get that if you wanted to watch it now?
You'd probably have to look it up on the internet somewhere.
Oh, okay. Huh. Hey, I see Trump won South Carolina.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that a surprise to you?
No. South Carolina.
They usually,
state.
And I mean, you know, isn't that kind of a Bible Belt?
Yeah.
So what are they banking on? Would you just throw out there with him? I mean, he's had his issues with sex type stuff. Does they just turned a blind eye and jobs are more important? I just can't quite figure out ways. Although, you know what? I'm way behind on these Bible Belt states. I thought Asheville was Bible Belt, and I found out more lesbians living there than anywhere in the United States.
Here, can you hold that for a minute?
And I thought it was all churches and Bible study. Lots of greens. Green River.
It's just that purple thing.
The purple thing?
It's got all
Yeah, lots of greens.
Oh, okay.
It's on that top.
Yeah.
Did the movie do?
Lots of greens.
No.
Did the movie
How
do any?
about Green
anything?
Green River?
No.
Yeah, I'll go get the movie.
Did the movie do much, or was it just kind of like a somewhere in time kind of a cult thing? That's a good movie, by the way, with Christopher Reeve. They filmed that up at Mackinac Island. Yeah. It's a good movie. Good movie. Boy, talk about how your life can change, huh? They had it made, him and his wife. Here he falls off that horse. Then she dies of secondhand smoke from singing in bars for 20 years. Wonder how that kid's doing, too. I think, didn't they have one son? Shit, he's probably 40 years old now. Red, White, and Blue on YouTube. But boy, that shows you how your life can turn around. Sure did happen for them.
Oh,
Crazy.
Red, White, Blue on Google.
Is that it?
No, but I just see Red, White, Google with Red, White, and Blue vote.
Oh, okay.
You see that?
South Carolina, that's not a swing state, is it?
I don't know. I don't think it is. I think it's always been a like you said, a Republican state.
Yeah, that's what I
though.
thought. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish it was. I'll take it. If they'd like to give it to us, we would be very appreciative.
Yeah, why not?
How much does it cost to be a swing state?
That's a good question. You're going to ask Iowa. There are states now that are head and swing that never used to be.
They're paying big money for that. It's like more than the Super Bowl commercial.
Really?
Yeah. Don't you think? To be a swing state?
Yeah. It's got a good ring to it.
Yeah. You can we should make an advertisement. How to become a swing state.
Yeah. Be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, green in it. I don't know. She said it might not have green in it.
Yeah. I'm looking now because I have it in my I hope
Do you
to God.
keep a track of the movies you watch?
We have a whole
Go ahead, spit it out. Like a diary of movies you watched? What's Stephanie? She might be mixing a margarita up right now. 23 minutes, that's it, huh? Let's see, that would be 11. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't even have it on like a TV. I don't know what's going on.
V for Vendetta.
Say it again.
V for Vendetta.
That's the name of it?
No, it's a really good movie though. We should watch it.
V for Vendetta. Okay. Movies are like, I haven't even hardly watched any in the last 10 years. They're just so crappy looking. You see the trailer, which is supposed to, pique your interest. And it's like, that looked like it sucks.
Yeah, I haven't seen.
Yeah, it's just not like it used to be. There's so many things to do. I don't even know how they make it with movies anymore. A lot of them go direct to like YouTube and stuff now. Netflix. Do you guys watch any of those Netflix produced movies? I think your volume's getting a little shaky. Like cutting in and out. Yeah, I wish it sounds like an interesting movie though. Swing State. Yeah, sounds good. A lot of movies with green in it. Well, I definitely think a lot of people are glued to the TV tonight. Rita, you're watching that, aren't you? Don't you have it on TV? What's going on out there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry.
Do you guys have a TV playing in the background? Oh, we're looking on the numbers now. Do you have those anywhere? Anybody have them? Rita, you probably turned the TV off, didn't you? Living in Florida, you poor thing.
Yeah, we pick the numbers.
You're going to have a crazy governor and a crazy president both.
I mean, either way we go. Come on now.
You did?
Did you figure it out?
Are you in? No, I might have to get back to you because I can't find it. But what I'm going to do is I am going to figure it out, and I promise you that you will not be disappointed.
Oh, thank you. Good.
It works.
I wouldn't have normally cared, but I like the short.
Yeah, I think you would like the content of that. It's really interesting.
It sounds
It
good.
is, but I can't find it, and I'm going to have to do some research and remember keywords and dream on it. And
Hey, did most of your or did your children go to college?
No, but I have one in college now.
Oh, okay.
She's paying for herself. She's trying to do occupational therapist.
Oh, wow.
That's what my wife did.
Yeah. Okay.
112
Pays
Kamala
good.
112 Kamala. And what else?
and 210 Trump.
210 Trump. It's really getting bad out there. Do you
Wow.
think we should invite Kamala into the chat?
Look at that. Harris 112, Trump 210. Wow.
Do you think we should invite Kamala into the Trump? See if she
Weird.
wants to cry. Maybe we can
She's gonna
pat
have
her
time.
back.
Rita, it's time to bust open that extra six-pack.
Rita,
God, that's
if you're not sharing, I don't want to hear about it.
that's shocking to me.
Why is that shocking?
I just didn't think there'd be these kind of numbers this early.
Oh, girl,
Yeah,
please.
crazy.
Did I tell you that he was going to win and it just wasn't even any doubt about it? But it's just funny how everybody convinced, it's just like with Clinton, everybody tried to convince us Clinton was going to win. But I told Jimmy if Clinton and Kamala ran together, I'd vote for Kamala in a heartbeat.
You would.
Yeah, I think Clinton's dangerous. Kamala's she's not even, what do you call it? She's not even,
Have you read many of those articles in the Clinton Foundation?
no, but I did want to know why. On the Clinton Foundation?
Yeah, well, just the scandals.
The bullshit? Yeah.
Vince Foster and things like that.
Oh, Vince Foster was terrible, wasn't it?
Yeah. It will change, but I don't think it's going to change in your favor.
Oh, does somebody want Kamala to win?
Oh, yeah. Plenty of them. Rita.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, Rita. I haven't voted yet. I can go vote for her.
It's too late.
Would help.
Yeah, Illinois. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
I don't want to talk to my daughter right now, that's for sure.
Oh, you better not believe it. Is she a sore loser?
No, I'd still just be sad.
What did the public school system get to her?
I have great kids. I have awesome kids. I'm very grateful. There's not one of them on the streets. And they're
Yeah,
all
that's
very
important.
sassy, and they all care very much for me.
Now, how of them are married?
Well, I have one that's engaged, and he's getting married next October.
Okay.
And then I have one that is married to a military officer
Oh, okay.
in the Air Force.
Oh,
And
all right.
and the one that's engaged owns his own business. And the other one, she's lived with him for years, and I've tried to get her to leave him, but she just won't.
No, you're not telling her anything. What's the
Oh,
own
no.
business the one has?
He has a pesticide business.
There's big money in that, I think.
He only works the very minimum because he makes what he needs to make, but he also does jujitsu. Yeah, and he just opened a gym with a couple other guys.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So he keeps in pretty good shape?
Yeah, he tells me I'm fat all the time. It's really nice. I wish he'd
No,
get
that's not
fat.
nice.
My kids and I, we talk to each other like we give each other such a hard time and laugh about it. I have a great family.
Good for you. So you keep in touch with them pretty regularly.
Well, two of them My youngest daughter and my son live 3 minutes away.
Oh,
And
that's
then
it?
my daughter, huh?
That's it?
Yeah, they're in my neighborhood. They bought it after I bought my house. My son did.
Oh, wow.
He won the lottery. He
Yeah.
won $100,000 in the lottery.
Yeah. Which one? The Fantasy Five?
Hold on.
Which one do you win it on? The lottery? Which
Which
game?
lottery?
Which
Oh, I
game?
don't know. I never asked him. He walked in and told me, and I asked him if he'd pay my trailer off, and he said no. And I was like, whatever, get out of my house.
$100,000. How long ago was that?
It was a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, I don't know, 3 or 4,
What do you
2
buy
or
at a
3.
gas station or something?
Was he what? Yeah, I
Pretty
think
good.
so.
Good for him.
I think he won some more later, but he bought a house. That's what he did, was a down payment on a house, pretty much, and a truck. He paid it to bought a Tacoma and paid that off.
Yeah, that's a good
And
truck.
yeah,
They hold their value too.
yeah. And then when I sold my little trailer, because I had a little, we had a little teardrop, and we sold that. I sold that. We sold that. I told him all I wanted out of that was we didn't get very much for it, but I told him all I wanted was our backyard. The fence was terrible. Didn't have any fencing that looked good. So I wanted him to build me a gate and give me a fence, and he did. And I think he ended up with $6,000, and that's what he put into the jiu-jitsu. So you would think I own that, not him, but no.
Now, are you were thinking about touring the country with your camper with Jim? Is that still on the burner or not really?
Oh my God, that would be amazing. You kind of squashed our dreams, but whatever.
Well, I told you the truth.
I know. Dream squasher.
Well, you're not in the middle of Kansas with a C's transmission either.
Well, that is true, and believe me, that's the first thing on my mind. That's where my mind goes.
Yeah.
Oh my God! But
for $10,000, you'll be out of there in a month.
Yeah, right. So I got to have plenty of money, so I'd have to sell my house.
Yeah, there you go.
You know,
is the real estate crazy where you live as well?
No. Where do you live? Do you live in Florida or
Georgia?
Okay, well, I don't think Georgia is it crazy in Georgia.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Well, the real estate in South Carolina, which isn't that far from me, is probably about the same. I mean, I bought my house. We bought our house. I do all the finances. I apologize.
That's all right.
We bought our house for 136.
Yeah.
At 4%.
Yeah.
Refinanced it at 2% when that was going on. And now we owe like about 129 or something, and we've had it for 5 years. I don't know. But it goes up to where we could get probably 150,000 if we sold it according to Zillow, which I don't trust, but you know.
Yeah. Well, that worked out for you.
Well, I bought it right before that big housing thing happened, you know.
Yeah.
So since that happened, what had happened was my son told me, you need to buy a house. Like, whatever. So I did. And there we go.
Now, when you talk about the neighborhood that lived in the same neighborhood as Jim, that was back in Michigan, right?
Mm-mm.
It wasn't?
We met in South Carolina.
Oh, we met in South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
We met at the Unity Church, and Jim was 21, and I was
23.
I think you were 21.
No, 23.
She says he's 23. What the hell?
And you were 43?
We picked you up and took you. You weren't 21 when we took your bike home?
No, I was 23.
He said he was 23. Me and my ex-husband took his bike home, and we just became friends.
Yeah.
And it just went from there.
Oh, wow.
So we've known each other for 17 years.
Unbelievable.
Been together for 10 and married for 4.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jim, how'd you end up out there? Oh, my dad used to work for Delphi in Detroit.
Yeah.
And that was when the automotive market wasn't doing too well, so he started looking for another job, and so he found a job in South Carolina. He worked for General Dynamics, which they make armored vehicles for military.
Yeah.
And so I moved down here with him.
They had a really nice house. That's when I didn't know he lived in a house with a hot tub. His dad.
Jim, were your parents supportive of your marriage to an older woman?
Not really, no.
Not at first.
Not at first.
Not at first. In fact, we weren't married, we were dating, and I would just go, I'd go to his basement and spend the night with him.
Yeah, we
weren't doing anything down there, okay? Anyway, she met me on the steps one day and put her hands on her hips and goes, I don't appreciate you. This is another story. You're taking advantage of my son and James. And James is just sitting there with his, hands, like he looks so nervous. Yeah. And she's like, and Rachel is embarrassed by you both. Well, Rachel is her daughter, right?
Yeah.
Well, ironically, that night, Rachel had never met my daughter, although she had bought didn't know she was my daughter, but had bought a fake ID from her. Then she met my daughter, and maybe that's the night she bought the fake ID. I don't know. And then she found out that I was her mom, and she's like, oh, I just love their relationship. I'm just so happy for both of them. The same night that his mother that morning had told him how embarrassed she was about her brother dating a woman like me. So God, had our back, whatever it is, had our back. And I was like,
that was my stepmom.
Yeah. So then at that point, she's like, you can date him, but you don't have to stay with him forever. And I just looked at her like, thanks for thinking you can run my life. And then she goes, after that, she did get really supportive. And I think they do like me a lot, but they have a lot of issues. So they have to, they can't pull their heads out of their ass with it. And I've tried to help them, and they don't sign that contract. So now I just don't talk to them.
Yeah.
And Jimmy does. Jimmy does sometimes.
You guys were just friends for like 3 years?
4 years. No, we were friends for 7 years.
I mean, just friends. You weren't getting drunk and banging here and there?
No.
So we met in 2007, and we got together in 2012.
Right. We never banged.
Jim, when did you start thinking you might be pouring the wood to her someday?
When we started hanging out, like...
No, at Alma.
Actually, no, I didn't think about that. It
was just
It was when we started dating.
And he didn't think about it.
It was that one night when you said that you liked me.
Yeah, and he didn't think about it. He had no choice at that point. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
even if he did want to.
But so this must have been on your mind when you were going to make that transition.
It was a suppressed thought.
Okay,
right.
Good answer. Did you guys watch The Summer of 42 together?
No, but do you think we should?
It's too late now. It'd bore you.
Oh.
You could probably show them a few things or two.
We did watch, what's that, Jonah and the Whale?
Yeah.
That's a really good movie about autism love.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say is an advantage you have with Jim because of his autism?
Oh, there are lots of advantages.
Just try and give me the Reader's Digest version.
Whatever. Do I talk too much?
No.
Okay. He's really smart. He's very talented. He's very easily, I don't know about other people with autism, but for me, he fits into the category of we have the same, I just say relationship. I don't even know if autism would be, whether it was an advantage or not. I can't tell the truth when he's autistic or when he isn't most of the time. I can't tell, but we just have a really good relationship where we laugh together. I think it's really fun because he's really smart, and apparently I'm a little smart too. So we watch things like, electronics together or different technology stuff together, and we both get it, so it's fun to watch that, or just different YouTubes that we enjoy together that I don't think there's many people who would. And we also enjoy having deep conversations, and he understands me very deeply, and when I'm depressed or sad or something, he's always the most emotionally supportive person you could ever ask for. And I don't know if that's his autism or he's just a good person. I don't know, but I can't say enough about him.
I try my best.
He tries his best.
Do you look at the power lines with him?
Um,
No one would.
I'll tell you a great story about our lives. We went to Detroit, right? You know Detroit. And
Yeah.
they have its good places and its bad places. And I was sleeping and I woke up and he was looking at this power line and there was this prostitute and her her pimp or something over there fighting. And I could tell this was a really bad place. And I was like, what the hell are you doing? Let's get out of here. But he was so interested in these power lines, he didn't even care what was going on behind him.
Yeah,
We're like,
yeah,
you're
I
going to
had
get
no
us
idea.
killed.
I literally had no idea.
Hey, Jim, you remember when those kids from Grosse Pointe were smoking marijuana a couple streets over near Alter and they got killed? Shot and the
Yeah.
girl got killed?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they ever found the killer.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Usually they do.
Yeah, especially when, it's a young girl from Grosse Pointe. But,
Oh, totally.
yeah, but that area, once
They'd
you
be
cross
all over that.
yeah, they were. But it actually happened in Detroit. That's probably why.
Mhm.
If it had happened in Grosse Pointe, I bet they would have caught him. But it was just kind of it sounded like a case of mistaken identity.
Yeah.
It's just sad. Kids just out screwing around, get caught up in that kind of crap. Weird.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you know he had a hot tub, because you knew he lived in Grosse Pointe.
Oh, I'm sure everybody's got a hot tub up there.
Yeah.
Well, we lived in South Carolina with the hot tub here was the same setup. They spend so much money on there.
I didn't like living with them. I didn't
You
care
did. He
about
was.
that. I didn't even go use the hot tub. I didn't even care. I could care less if we had a hot tub or not.
Look, but here's the thing, and I don't care either. But here's the thing. Here's an autism thing. Whenever I decided, I was like, "Would you like to live in? We can move in together." And he looked at me. He's like, "Well, I'm 75% sure I'm ready to move in with you."
Oh, okay.
That's a sign. That's a sign of autism.
Well, not really.
No, that's pretty much an honesty thing.
Well, he wasn't sure. It was uncharted territory.
Yeah, it was uncharted territory, but I seemed to like the territory real quick.
Oh, you fit right in.
Yeah.
I cook,
Yeah.
So,
Good for you.
and then one night he was going to break up with me because his dad got upset because if he dated me, he'd never have any other children. Wouldn't have any grandchildren. So he told me, I'm going to break up with you. And I was like, okay, come over here and do it then. Come over here and do it. And I made him come over and we ended up making out on the porch.
Now, did his age have anything to do with it?
For me?
Yeah.
No. Like it was not. It took me a long time to get over that.
Gotcha. And do you guys ever go out or people think you're his mother?
No, but sometimes I tell him we're going to make out and I'm going to call him son. We could just start making out. And people have said, oh, is that your son? I'm like, no, that's my husband. And then they feel real bad. So I should just turn around and go, come and give me a kiss, son.
And we make out when they do that.
Yeah, we've done that before. It's funny, but not very often.
Well, it's worked out for you guys.
Yeah, and we love things like he free spirit. We're both free spirits, so we've danced on the street.
Heck yeah.
One day his dad, I invited him out to dinner and they, I just was having a real hard time with them and their controlling ways. And they came over to dinner. They came over to this restaurant and they ate and I went and paid for the food ahead of time. I didn't tell his dad. And I watched his dad go up there to pay for the food. Because I was like, screw you, you're not going to run our lives. And I'm going to show you we can run our own lives.
Was your dad kind of a control freak then, Jim?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
I think he's an alcoholic, though.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Oh, well, that complicates it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all good now, right?
I mean, we don't see them. But I'd love to take the Winnebago up there and see them.
Yeah, last time I saw him was like probably 10 years ago now.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, like 7.
And is he still there in South Carolina?
No, he moved.
They moved to where?
Tennessee, up in the mountains.
They're in Tennessee now?
Yeah.
I didn't know where they were moving.
And he's probably retired?
Yeah.
He's been retired. He's been living off his wife for a long time.
Good for him.
Yeah.
What'd she do, Jimmy? Inherit money?
Oh, my stepmom.
Yeah.
She's a nurse.
Traveling nurse.
Yeah, traveling nurse, and she teaches classes and stuff.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
Not a school, but just like teaches other nurses different things. Like she used to be a traveling nurse. Now she kind of moved up, and I think she's like a trainer now.
Yeah, is she younger than him?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
definitely.
Oh, okay. Well, that worked out for them.
When my dad was like 40, he married her when she was like 26.
Oh,
Yeah.
God bless
Left
him.
left his mom to marry her.
Yeah.
I don't, we don't judge it, but what's really fun is to go to Rhode Island and stuff like that with Jimmy because he knows so many places and it's beautiful there. Connecticut.
Yeah, it is. It is nice. Did you go up there a lot, Jim, to know so many places?
Used to live up that way.
Oh yeah, I used to live in Massachusetts. Yeah,
Oh.
I used to. Yeah, I loved it up there.
Oh, okay.
The house he was born in on a couch now has a plaque because it's a historical house.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. But it's
From
cool.
like the 1800s. I love that.
His dad refurbished it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good at like construction and things like that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's definitely a handyman.
All right.
I learned a lot from him.
Good.
There's a lot of great things about him.
Good for you. Did you get along with the stepmom or not really?
Kind of.
Okay. Huh.
She's a little bit primpy, so he's a boy,
Yeah.
And also, she has her own child, which she seems to favor quite a bit over any other children that she was raising. And I think that's kind of normal for some people, but it's it's bad optics.
And is your birth mother still alive, Jim?
Yeah.
And where is she?
She lives in Flint.
Okay.
She grew up in Flint.
Okay.
But she moved to Massachusetts when she married my dad, and then she moved back up to Michigan when I was in 5th grade.
Oh, okay.
And I stayed in Massachusetts.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
And
That was kind of
life
hard, but I adjusted quick. I lived with my dad until I moved to Michigan.
How was your mom? Did she adjust okay after that?
When she moved to Michigan?
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Okay.
She has bipolar, and so she kind of has, and she has some other she kind of struggles.
She's an alcoholic.
Oh, okay.
Or I mean, if you could say that.
So she's an alcoholic and your dad's an alcoholic and you're not a drinker, are you?
No.
Lucky you. There goes the genetic argument with you.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't drink. I think that's part of the reason why I don't.
Could be. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
But those genes are strong. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want to take a chance.
Is it nature or nurture?
Both.
It is.
I think gene expression, it expresses itself with different people, different ways. So it's kind of hard. They get mixed up. There's a blurry line there. Different with different people. Oh, there's some pretty compelling stories on identical twins that were separated at birth.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, grown up in different countries with different parents.
And have the same name for their wives and their dogs.
It's weird, yeah.
It's
weird.
Wow,
that is interesting.
Yeah, it is. There's lots of good studies out there in identical twins that were given up at birth.
You want to swing into a controversy? What about that Hitler guy that made the experiments on the twins?
Oh yeah, yep.
Was that for the good of us, and just that we don't want to?
Yeah, he got in a bunch of shit over that.
Yeah, but I mean,
there's another famous pediatrician that got busted doing that too. Much later on, got caught doing that. Jewish guy, I think. I barely remember it. Yeah, he was responsible, and he thought it was just a valid study for the betterment of society. But boy, did he get his ass handed to him later when they
Yeah, but
found out
here's the
about.
thing. Let's cut down the middle. We have society, right? And then we
Right.
have the betterment. Should he
Right.
have, do they ever actually look? I saw a YouTube video the other day and I thought it was so interesting because it was about lobotomy and it was about somebody who's actually in the medical field. And
Yeah.
they said they learned a lot from the lobotomy and there's so much better, there's so much problems with that and
Yeah.
so many opinions around that. But this guy was point blank out saying it with a straight face that they
Yeah,
learned a
Jim.
lot from that. And I wondered that with our society, do we take the betterment of society and take it away when there's something that makes us uncomfortable and horrific that we don't understand and make that the problem rather than the betterment of society? Would we be able to waive, if we waived that off, did we actually make a difference?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Who knows? Depends who you ask.
Of course. I ask you because you have all the answers.
Well, I don't really know on that one, I mean, it's not etched in stone like the betterment of society. You have to define that first. It's kind of a philosophy. I mean, what makes it better? Like that you're religious, you're conservative with your money and invest well. I mean, it's a variety of like a state of being. And when third parties get involved with their own agenda, it seems selfish. Because I don't think small groups like individuals and professors and pediatricians, it's not up to them to do things like that, which is why, of course, that was a bad example. I mean, lots of good has come out of research and science and what they've done, but it didn't involve, twin studies, splitting people up at birth, and back in the day doing lobotomies and that kind of thing.
I think the thing when you talk about the one doctor, are you talking about the doctor who the twins were actually born? They were both girls or both boys, and one of them didn't have a penis that was fully developed, so they made him a girl.
No, evidently that happened a lot.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, they didn't. There's absolutely zero connection between alcohol and autism. Zero, none, anywhere. There's no link to autism in alcoholic parents. But Jimmy, you can answer the question. There's no medical basis for it. But do you think it contributed to your autism, Jim?
What'd you ask?
If Rita asked if James thinks that alcoholic parents contributed to his autism. Hey, Penny.
No, I don't think. No,
Not at all.
no.
Yeah. I know there's there's no scientific basis for alcoholic parents and autistic children. None. There's zilch.
You know what I have noticed though that I find interesting, and I've seen it a lot. I will see autistic, like highly, what do they call them?
High functioning
autism or Asperger's.
Right. Yeah.
I will
We don't
notice
use
a
that
lot of
anymore.
times one of their parents will be somebody like an engineer.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well,
So
they say Elon Musk is autistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elon Musk has $1 million. He can be what he wants. $1 billion.
Closure of institution disaster. It is, but again, like all things, funding. I mean, you can't even barely fund Social Security and Medicaid now. It's just a cost measure, which is why they're around in the 80s when there were more businesses here and you could afford to be in business. Just take a look at the companies that were here that are no longer here when that stuff was funded. That's the real issue. Money's just not rolling around like it used to be. And it's also why college is ridiculously expensive, because there's no federal subsidies and the state subsidies have been ratcheted down to barely anything.
Well, my daughter got a lottery subsidy, and she also got an offer just for writing something real short. She got another scholarship offered to her, and she
Really?
just started school. Yeah.
Good for her.
That's at Trident Tech Community College, though, right?
Oh, yeah. It's a community college.
Yeah, but it's still good.
Yeah.
I mean, even community colleges are expensive now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people that would have normally been in mental institutions are in prison instead now. That's how it
Yeah,
is.
well, that's another story. Oh, I was going to call what I want to call the controversial questions. I want to call them Solomon questions, because you have to take one side out to make the other side looked at differently. Like with the abortion, what if everybody had an abortion? Then we wouldn't have Special Olympics.
Yeah, it's true.
So those are all Solomon questions. So you said just now what? Sorry, I want to get that in so I remembered it. What
No,
did
but
you
let me
say?
answer that. JMO said autism can be called. Well, I've never read anything about a link to autism and old sperm at all. I mean, old sperm isn't what young sperm is, but I've never seen it linked to autism. Yeah, late 30s isn't bad.
Who said that?
I did.
Yeah, late 30s is nothing for a male.
An old sperm.
Quality, but it's still not linked to autism.
I didn't even know there was old sperm. I thought you continued to make that.
You do, but they used to blame everything on older women, and now they're finding out that there's inherent difficulties with 80-year-old guys getting 25-year-old women pregnant. I mean, I hope to be one someday to tell you about.
Yes, we're on the lookout.
Thank you. Please
You're
do.
welcome.
Yeah, I'll put on my religious.
My daughter's
hat.
single, maybe.
How old is she?
She's 30. She might be too old.
Yeah, well, she's.
Wait, does she still have her girlfriend?
She does have a girlfriend. They're kind of trying to work it out. I don't know.
Oh, is she both feet in as a lesbo or just experimenting?
I think she just goes both ways, depending on how she feels about the person.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be super interested in her.
Yeah, she's really awesome. I love her.
She is awesome.
I would too.
She's a great person.
Oh shit.
And she's no nonsense.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want
Yeah.
a wife that fucks around
She's
on me all the
beautiful on top of it.
Oh my God, perfect. I want a wife that fucks around on me with her girlfriend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
Yeah. I don't even call that any kind of infidelity.
Yeah, you don't?
No, hell no. I give that a free pass.
I don't call infidelity no matter who's fucking around with who, if that's what they want to do.
Yeah, but you changed.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Just think if you'd have got on that plane to Australia, how different things would be.
Oh my God. I
don't think you would be here right now.
I wouldn't. I was gonna do what woofing. You know what woofing is?
You're gonna couch surf.
You know what woofing is?
No.
Well, if you want to go to Australia and you really want to go there and you want to stay for a while, you do this thing called woofing. And what it is there's different farmers that need different help.
Yeah.
And so there's a website and you can sign up. Yeah. And if you get over there, we should do that. If you get over there, you can actually woof with that farmer, and they'll pay for you. They'll pay for your room and board for you to do that. Yeah. And then when you're off, you can do other things. And so there's woofing.
I got an idea. If you did something like that, like if you got on a plane next week, that might pull you out of your doldrums.
Oh, totally.
No shit.
My doldrums are about getting past this time in my life that is bullshit.
No, I get it. Yeah. And what else is interesting too, if you look at the history and the theory, the DSM, that's basically to define mental health issues with regard to compensation from third parties, insurance companies and self-insureds. But basically they have to call you something. But you just hit a nail on the head. You could be something that they never devised a category for. It's just going through a period in your time. But in this culture, you have to name it something.
Right. Well, I've had therapists that told me I absolutely was not bipolar. But here's the thing, they have to call me something.
Yeah,
right?
That's it.
And because I want to be on short term, I'm going to comply with something.
No, bingo. Yeah.
Right. That's it.
Yep. Yeah, that's read up on it, because there are a couple of keywords that you'll need to mention in your sessions to keep that train rolling. Like they do that with resumes now. They put them through AI, and if you don't have like 15 of this bullshit in your resume, you're not going to get to the second person that's actually going to consider you for employment. And medical reimbursements like that with psychiatric diagnoses. So you want to make sure you hit the top 5, like Google AdSense does with
Yeah,
trending.
I do that anyway, but not the DSF. But I do that.
Yeah, but I mean, you want to fit this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to miss anything.
Right. Absolutely.
If it takes banging your head against the back of a bus.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it. Yeah. Right. That a girl. When in Rome, do as the Romans do.
You know what? There's very few people that would understand that the way you did and not judge me for it because
I've been there.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I am trying new medication, and I do have something going on with me that I think might be my kidneys. So I called my doctor, and I have sciatica, which I think is going to help with my military, because I complained about my toes hurting, but nobody knew why. And now I know it was sciatica.
Uh-huh.
So there are some things boiling in the back burner. I can tell you this, I have never been without a miracle in my life.
Is it both legs or just one?
Both. It's my ankles. Actually, they feel like they're crashing. Like I feel like when I'm walking on my ankles.
I know somebody's told you this before, but I'll bet you money. Well, first of all, as you age, it's going to get better because your disc gets smaller. But I'll bet you money if you lost weight, it'd go away.
Oh, I imagine it would. I'm not doing that. Have you seen my stash of Mike and Ike's? Hello.
Take some Jardians.
What's Jardians?
Manjaro, these weight loss things that basically trick your body into thinking you're a diabetic. You'll urinate out about 8 pounds a month.
Like the Ozempic?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you say that because my daughter, she went to the doctor with me and she asked him how my whatever was. And I asked her later, I said, what was that something you were asking about? She said, that was your whether you had any diabetic problems. She said, I was hoping they'd give you Ozempic, but I think I could go to the doctor and get it anyway.
Well, you probably could. And it gets better as you get older because you'll cost the system less.
Right, because I'm going to cost y'all some money, and I apologize now for that.
No, it's true, but that's the way it is. They finally got smart about it, which is my argument for doing what you can do with drug addicts and prostitutes early on. Because even though they don't work and they're just out there and they don't seem to bother anybody, they could likely cause the system $1.5 million in debt during a 45 to 50-year period of not working.
Okay, so your homework tonight is to watch Soylent Green. Find that movie; you will love it.
I am going to watch it. I will watch it.
And then, but the other thing I was going to say is, I'll tell you a real story that really it made me so sad. So I had a friend who was living in a house running from this guy. He's a real big guy, probably 400 pounds. And I was living in the same neighborhoods. It was when we were in South Carolina, over in this little Park Circle area.
Yeah.
We were renting this house, and we got to be real good friends. And she said she was taking care of him because it was her landlord. And I went over there, and they also had a real bad. Can't make this shit up. There was also another neighbor of his that were taking care of him, but were doing a terrible job because they were heroin addicts and they were stealing all his money. Like he had a whole bunch of coins and stuff, and they stole all of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I went over there and started working with him. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and get you healthy because, like, I don't want you may or may not lose weight, but you weigh 400 pounds, and we need to at least try to start getting you healthier. So what we did was I started making him less and less with the Slim Jims and more with organic food. So I was feeding him organic food. Well, he ended up in the hospital, and I believe it's because his body detoxed a little. So his body was detoxing, and he was in the hospital, and I went in there and he was on a trach, and I was like, why do you want a trach? And he couldn't speak, and they'd done something. They go, are you guys can you sign a DNR? I'm like, what are you talking about, a DNR? Like, that sounded crazy to me. I mean, this is my friend, and I told him I loved him, and he was fine, and we were working together, and I had a connection. Then he got moved to this other hospital, and he was laying in the bed, and they're like, can you sign a DNR? They had him so drugged up. I had this one nurse that would take him off the drugs whenever we go visit him so we could actually talk to him, because I have no idea why they had him so drugged up. But I really believe it was a euthanization thing, because I went there one day and he was now drugged up, had the trach, had a tube up his butt, and that's the last time I saw him. And the next time he was dead. And I truly believe they murdered him. And the reason they murdered him is because his Medicaid ran out. And he was already too much on the system. And I've heard other people say that's happened to their friends.
Your Medicaid doesn't run out, though.
Why did they do that to him?
They didn't. It's a one-person survey. You're upset, you're disappointed, and that's what you come up with in that scenario. Medicaid doesn't run out.
Okay.
Now, what could have happened? Now, I know this for sure. Hospice euthanizes people all the time with morphine. There's somebody, well, I'm not going to say, but it's somebody you guys know who had someone close to them. And basically, when you have this secret confidential talk with your therapist and you have health issues and it's not getting any better, and when you come to this agreement and they express to their family that they don't want to be in around anymore, it's 2 clicks with a morphine pen from hospice and it's lights out.
Well, that's what they did to my grandma.
Yeah, but that's good if she wasn't going to get better. I mean, death is part of the life cycle. You shouldn't suffer, and they're very good at it. Even Obama had enough sense not to fuck with hospice. Why wouldn't anybody like them? They get it from both ends. They get it from the taxpayers. Their bills are insane. It costs a fortune. They make friends with the family, and a lot of times they get a ton of money donated or they inherit it. If you're dying and you're in pain, you come over and you're not in pain, you're happy, and you die in comfort. I mean, I don't see how they could ever have an enemy.
I agree. And
What's not true?
Yes, I do.
What's not true, Rita? She said something's not true. Yeah, I don't see how you could ever have an enemy.
I believe in euthanization. I believe in choice in euthanization.
Well, they don't. It is true. It just happened to somebody you know. Damn it, what happened to this fucking thing? But it's a way of euthanization. You can't call it that. Now, there are states like Oregon, Vermont, but you have to be terminal. In Europe, you can go over there for 25 grand. They'll put you to sleep. Yeah. In Europe, you can go over there for 25 grand. You can just tell them you don't want to be around anymore and they'll put you out.
Yeah, exactly. There's YouTubes about people who've done that. And I think it's pretty cool.
I do too. I don't believe that suicide's selfish either. It's you, it's your body. You don't, what states? Not if you're not terminal.
You know what?
Yeah, for medical, you got to be terminal though. Yeah.
That is when it's your body. And that's the only time. I'm going to write that bill about abortion, damn it. That's when it's your body.
Do you believe you should be able to end your life whenever you feel like it?
I believe you can't. You should be able to, but I believe there's a slight danger in that as well because there's people who are depressed that want to end their life. And I believe that they shouldn't. I think that there should be some boundaries around that, like maybe a practice run or something where you do it yourself before you're ever allowed to do it. Because I don't know. It's a complicated area. I can't tell you what to do. It's your body.
How about this then? Do you think it's possible for someone that isn't depressed to kill themselves and still be able to define it's rational? Or is death to you just inherently wrong and irrational when there's nothing medically around to support it?
I feel like I'm on the edge of the cliff and you could definitely tip me over and I don't give a shit if you want to kill yourself.
I've been there. No, I've been there.
Yeah.
I know. I get it.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying as a belief system, not that I'm going to do it, but that as a belief system, when you present it to me like that, yeah. I'm not, I feel like I don't have a whole lot to stand on to disagree with you.
Okay, good. So everybody that kills himself may not be irrational.
Or they may be. It doesn't matter.
Well, it kind of does.
I don't think it has to be doesn't have to, you just said it. Does that have to be the
But well, here's the thing. I mean, any living thing fights its ass off to stay alive.
Exactly.
It isn't normal to want to end your life for something less than medical reasons.
If you want to end your life, it is nobody's business if that's what you want to do. Now you have to maybe, I feel like for the sake of the for the sake of the argument, I feel like you should be offered some sort of support and psychological evaluation so you can make sure that that's what you want to do. I don't think we ought to just go stick the needle. Oh, you said you want to die. Okay, here you go. You know what I mean? I watched a story about a guy who was a paraplegic. And he had a really, really good life, and then he became a paraplegic. And he laid in a bed, and he hated his life. He hated everything, and he paid somebody. He was a really smart guy, and they put a switch in his bed so that he could go ahead and end it when he was ready. Because he really wanted that option because he didn't feel like he had a quality of life. And he ended up not doing it and actually ended up with a quality of life, and he was happy he didn't do it. And the whole story's there. However, with that being said, there's the edge, right? There's the edge. Is it something that you're doing for an irrational reason or a rational reason? I think I'd be happier if you were rational wanting to do it than irrational.
Right. That's right. They kind of do hospice. Hey, Rita.
Hi.
I have a friend that's, hey, Rita.
Hey, darling, I love you.
I love you too.
I love to hear your I love to hear your analogy of things. I find you just a wonderful speaker.
Thank you.
Yeah, not bad.
Jimmy said I'm not bad.
No, you're
I
great.
think you'd be a good therapist.
You're so intelligent.
I don't know if I go that far.
I know. I mean,
I think she is. I think she is. She might be extreme, but that's a personal choice. But
No,
I think she's. I think she's great.
I agree, Tom. I don't think I would go that far either.
I think you'd be a good therapist.
My therapist asked me why I wasn't a therapist, and you know what I told her?
Huh.
I don't want to work with stupid people.
Yeah, that's an issue. That's a problem. They can't get out of their own way.
That's the thing with me. After a bit, I'm just like, I give up. I'm done.
Well, I do this thing called therapy on the porch with wine with my friends.
Oh, that's great. That sounds good.
Yeah, right?
You have a group of friends that you can bounce things off of. That's great. That's good. That's good therapy right there.
Yeah, but you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Well, that's true too. But in the short term of things, just trying to get through day to day and not, it's a good thing. It's just good to talk to people.
I mean, we allow it to happen. We allow pets that are suffering. Pink
what?
Say what?
We allow to put our pets if we love
them.
them.
We're more kind to our pets than I don't euthanize my pets either if I don't have to. I had a pet that died right next to me. I couldn't do it.
I've had to euthanize some. If I don't have to, I prefer not to. But my thing is, just like with a human being, I don't think anything should suffer. If they're suffering, if they're just dying of, old age, or they're not really showing any signs of pain or anything of that nature, okay, let nature take its course. But if I have an animal that I can see that is in pain and suffering, I'm not going to let anything suffer.
Well, you know what, Rita? It's way cheaper not to do it that way and just let them die at home in a cage or something.
Well, I don't care about
sometimes
cheaper.
You can't wait.
I don't give a fuck about cheaper. That's not my. I said.
Why can't you wait that long? Wait a minute, Rita. Why can't you wait that long? It's going to happen.
Animal.
Yeah, but they might be in pain.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to worry about it. You're not feeling it.
Oh my God.
Jeez, you're getting out there now.
You're not feeling it, or how? Okay, I'm just gonna.
Rita, I just wanted to say that because I knew that'd be upsetting to you. I knew that would kill you.
Oh yeah, that's a trigger for me. I won't. I don't want to see anything
though.
suffer.
I didn't even know my dog was dying, so I didn't know what was going on. And then they didn't really tell me. I took him to the doctor, and I said I'd rather do palliative care. I'm not doing anything. and they gave me the wrong
Right.
medication. And then she ended up just falling on the bed one night, and I woke up and she was breathing weird. And I was about to tell her stop that, and then I said, "Oh, she can't stop that."
Right.
Yes.
And I've
Oh.
sat through many of those. And cats are one of the worst that won't tell you anything till they're cats are notorious for just dying.
Yeah.
Just
You
dying.
wake up and they're like,
It happens so quick. Like,
They
Yeah.
do.
"Hi."
yeah,
Cats
she was
are
fine like a week
so
earlier, and all of a
Oh
sudden,
no, I was nursing her for a month.
But you can tell usually if something is coming to the end of its life. I mean, the way they eat or drink or
yeah,
just lay about, but suffering, no, I don't think anything should suffer.
Well, she was under the shed, and you know how they'll go hide under the hide somewhere. So she was under
Yeah,
the
they
shed,
do
and
that a lot.
I was
Dogs,
trying to get her
especially,
out.
will leave
I
if
brought her out.
they are
Yep.
out.
I brought her
They'll
out
go
steak.
off
Nothing would do
and
it.
die
Well, what happened
unless they're
was
pampered like my dogs.
when I brought my son over, I said, if she'll come out for anything, she'll come out for my son.
Yeah, well,
And she did. She ended up coming in for my son. Well, that's pretty heavy.
but I've had to put animals down, and I have to think about their age and what it's going to take to get them back. It just depends on their situation. What it is that they are dying from, or what, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, Rita, if I ever have to do anything like that, I'll just come ask you what's a good idea there. Sounds like you've done it a lot.
I have done it. I've done it much more than I would like to have.
I've taken other people's pets to that too because they couldn't
I've
do it.
done that too, but because they just couldn't seem to bring them. See, it's attachment. It's attachment. You want to keep them alive for you. I find that, you know what I'm saying? When you love them, you don't want to let them go. But I don't want to keep anything that's suffering.
Yeah.
As I said, and Tom, I know you kind of touched on it, but kind of privately. My sister is in a nursing facility.
Uh-huh.
And we've never had the greatest relationship. I mean, we're off and on and off and on. And she probably, but anyway, that doesn't matter right now. She's has had rheumatoid arthritis since she was 45. She's 77.
Wow.
She's grown up like a goddamn pretzel. She has a pressure sore on her spine that they've been trying to treat, which often happens because she's so thin. She has to be lifted in and out of bed if she gets up. In the last few weeks, months but it's just gotten worse. She has started refusing nourishment or, water, food, anything of that nature. But she's cognitive enough that when she first went in there, she's been there about a year, she wanted full code if, they saw she was dying. But now, this shows that she still has clear thinking. She asked to be put on a DNR, do not resuscitate. She's been in pain she's 45, she's 77. So she's making her own decisions on this, so to speak.
But is she in pain unrelated to the rheumatoid arthritis?
Well, with the spinal, the tailbone pressure sore, of course she's in pain. But
You say other than rheumatoid arthritis. I don't know. You need to look that up. She's drawn up like a goddamn pretzel. She can't stand. She can't walk. She can't. She pretty much has to be fed. I've sent. She has every food that I know that she likes. I made sure she had everything: drinks, vitamin infused waters, everything that I know. But she has reached a time in her life where she's tired. When you suffer
Mm-hmm.
the way she has for all those years, she's done. She's done. And I think a person knows when they are done. And they called me because I'm her next of kin, and they keep in touch with me. That she has wonderful staff, wonderful nurse practitioners, wonderful doctors. And in the last week, they have now put her on hospice care. She's still in the facility, but hospice is also going to come in and assist. And they recently called me and asked me if they wanted to put her on morphine. They wanted to know if I was on board with that. And I said, absolutely. So at this point, it's comfort care.
Right. Absolutely.
Right.
Because I
That's
just
the whole
watched.
idea.
Yep.
Excuse me?
That's the whole idea. Yeah. I mean, it's the way to go.
I watched a
So
lady,
anybody that talks about them killing, they're not
I don't know
killing
if
her.
I'm
Listen, the dying process can be painful as your organs shut down.
Right.
And it helps these people to relax. And it helps them with their anxiety. And it helps them with, I mean, if you're worried about making her an addict, well, goddamn, I mean, really? Come on, man.
Right.
Let people go out in peace. Hey, listen, if I was in her position, I'd be yelling, give me the fucking drugs.
That's right.
All day long.
I mean, give me the fucking drugs right now. That's what I'm saying.
Right on.
Well,
and as far as organ failure goes, I want Stephanie, she's coming down to visit, and I want her to get down here before my organ fails.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do. But it sounds like Stephanie's organs have already given up.
Yeah. We're going to find out. I'm going to be able to verify it.
Are you verifying the organ
I'm kidding.
failure?
I'm kidding.
Right. Okay.
It's a joke.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah, when they stop.
But no, I don't think anybody should suffer. But now, as cognitive people that are highly depressed, and of course, my sister's depressed. Fuck, she's done.
Right.
She knows she's done. But people that suffer from mental illness, whether they should be able to choose life or death, that's really tricky. And most places, and even countries, if you really look into it, really do the research, they're mostly designed for people that are in have some terrible disease, that it's going to be fatal. They're already feeling the effects, but in certain, it's not legal to really just euthanize somebody. That's why they go to these other places that their views are different. That if you just choose to die or live, you can. I mean, but I think, like you, Miss James, that there has to be some psychological testing, not just. But I don't believe that people should be kept alive if they have exhausted everything medically. That they are so fucking depressed they can't live. I think that's torture too.
Yeah, and also the psychological testings done by some motherfucker that's not depressed.
I didn't say whether they did or not. I was just throwing it out there that maybe there could be something, you never know, that might.
Right.
I thought you did, that they have to go through, and they should go through psychological testing. But there again, it's a two-edged sword. If somebody is so fucking depressed,
Right.
but and if there's no other, they've tried everything and they still want to die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's a moral dilemma.
It wouldn't be for me.
Well, not for you, but I'm saying within countries and places that allow it or not.
Well, that's
And
the-
it's not
that's part
that
of the
easy
problem.
to get if you're just
Wait.
a depressed person to be euthanized.
Did somebody say moral dilemma? What are we talking about here?
I did. I
What-
said
what-
it's a moral dilemma within some states and countries.
Well, you know,
Against the
the problem
law.
is it
And there's
comes
also
down,
a law.
well, a law that we should follow. It also becomes an idea of a moral dilemma is developed by the person who does not want to kill themselves. So
Thank
that
you.
moral dilemma is not coming from an internal desire, that's coming from an external force.
Right.
It is, but-
And as what we call
True.
civilized societies, that's a kind of a law. I mean,
Yeah, but
whether it's right or
as much as
wrong.
I'd like to jump on the bandwagon of criticizing it, I don't think they're coming up with programs against your best interest. I mean, what do you want? A bunch of fucking 25 bipolar people deciding whether or not your life should go on? Probably not.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You know, so I mean, there is some credence to people other than the current state of mind you're in helping you come to some kind of resolution as to what should be done. I mean, it's not normal for people minus medical issues, not behavioral, to want to end their lives.
Absolutely.
So the bipolar,
That's not natural. Most people want to live. It's just a thing within living people that you're going to fight to live. I mean, that's the norm. There's got to be something very wrong if you don't.
Right.
the bipolar people of America or of the world take offense to what you just said, Chosen One Tom. I mean, we may be really good at deciding that. You don't know, but we'll forgive you.
No, but I know that you're not being treated by bipolar people, and you said you liked it.
Actually, bipolar people are very intelligent. Sometimes have a really
It's got
great.
nothing to do with about intelligence. It's got to do.
But
with
you're not wanting to kill yourself.
Yeah.
Well, Maud, I watched. Ironically, YouTube decided I wanted to watch an old '72 show about that Maud was bipolar. It was interesting. Anyway, I'm just kidding. We'll forgive you in a minute. We're just mad right now. Okay.
That's okay. No, I know what you're saying, but I just don't think. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but I don't think there's any ulterior motive for people trying to sabotage your life and take away what you think is an inherent right in experiencing what bipolar is all about. Have you ever read that Kate Jamison's book, that professor at Duke? She's a tenured professor there. It's bipolar. You would love those books. I think I got extra copies. I'll mail them to you. But that's kind of a perfect person to explain what I'm trying to get across. If you're in a manic stage, you're not rational.
Exactly.
By any standard.
Hell, I won employee of the year. Employee of the month, and I was manic as hell.
All right, they thought you got
going through a manic phase.
Yeah, they thought you got more work done than anybody
I
else.
was all about it. Hell yeah.
Well, that's funny because that's kind of what Maud was about. She was actually having Henry Fonda run for president.
Yeah, I remember that. I've seen that.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what they're talking about, which I'd never seen that perspective, but it's true. So that's why you got employee of the year month, besides the fact that you absolutely
I was just busting my ass. I was just fucking wide open. It wasn't that I was out of control or thinking, I was just so fucking productive because I didn't sleep and I was just, I couldn't rest, but I wasn't out of my mind. I was just, I was a bit you know, you don't have to be full blown manic, but I was manic.
Right.
You know, my friends have said to me, "You are so manic right now." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? I'm not manic. I'm fine." I don't know where they get that. You know what I mean? But I'm sure.
Manic is staying up for days at a time.
Not always.
Yeah,
Well,
there's different
not
ways to look
always,
at.
but I'm just let me finish. Staying up on a really high, everything's just fucking great. You know, but then you crash.
You do seem kind of manic to me, Alicare, but in a good way. You might get employee of the month if you go back to work.
You know,
I ain't going
I
back to
should go
work.
back to work. I really want to get employee of the month. So thank you for that
Well, I think you're
support.
manic sometimes
I'm here
too.
for you. No, but you seem like a person that like gets stuff done and
Oh, I do.
falls out.
Balls to the wall. That's me, damn it. But I'm
Yeah.
so tired because of this, whatever's going on, that I
it'll
can
wear
work for
your
a
damn
couple
ass
hours
out.
and I go to sleep.
Do you
Like,
think you're a hypochondriac?
That's what I am. Can I be a hypochondriac? No,
Yeah.
a hypo.
No,
Okay.
hyper fits better.
Hyper,
You
I like
think
the
that
hypo.
I don't know.
you think things are wrong with you that no test can substantiate.
But I looked it up on the internet, so it's true.
Oh, there we go. You looked it up on the internet, so it's got to be true.
No, but there is
You can't really believe that. Come on now, you're just being
no, but there
facetious.
are hypochondriac is real.
It is. My sister, same sister, was the type. If you told her that you had a cold, she'd say, "Oh my God, I know I've got bronchitis and
Yeah.
this and that and the other."
And they think
I
they're
mean, she
dying all
had to outdo whatever you were. You know, she
Yeah.
had to have it. If somebody suggested that their sister or brother or sister-in-law or friend had something, by God, she had it or she had it.
Yeah.
Well, a hypochondriac is real. Becomes a oxymoron, doesn't it?
Hyper or hypo?
I don't know. I didn't know there was a difference. I'm looking it up.
No, an oxymoron is jumbo shrimp.
Well, there you go.
Hey, did you ever look up that comedian, Rita, that I told you to look up?
Oh, James Gregory. I knew that name.
Yeah.
Yes, he was from Louisiana, I believe.
Originally, yeah, I think he was.
I
Such a good.
don't think I have that thick of an accent. Now
Oh,
he
you have
was
a
a
pretty
whole
thick
nother
accent,
thing.
ma'am. You have pretty thick accent.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you guys
You're
are just
welcome.
one state away. But you're not from
Louisiana.
there.
Well, anyway, whatever. But I that's okay. I'm proud of my accent. I like it.
I love watching comedians. There was another guy with an accent, and he's like, yeah. People are like, is that accent fake? And he was like, yeah, if I was going to fake an accent, I'd fake this one because all the women want this accent.
I'll bet another 100 years from now.
I go back and I look at these chats and I listen to them again, and I just don't think that I'm that different sounding.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there might be some words, or I just don't think I'm that.
Oh yeah.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yep. I even had Jimmy listen to it. I said, Jimmy, listen to that. Doesn't she sound like that? He said, yeah. I said, exactly.
Well, anyway, I'm proud of it.
Deliverance.
I think it's beautiful. I love it.
I think it is too. We have a very sing-song type of accent.
Yeah, but if you were going to acting or modeling school, they'll try and get you to drop it.
Oh, I know that. But
yeah, but if you were
I never wanted to do any of that.
They say it affects people's entrance into professional schools.
Well, yeah, but I'm sure it does. And I'm sure when some people first hear me, they automatically go, oh my God, dumb heck.
Well, you know what? But if I was going to potluck,
it's just a region in which you were born, just like Californians have a different Midwesterns, Northerners, I don't think Tom has an accent. I don't call Tom. It's just no accent
People
to
down
me.
here say I do.
Well, yeah, I can see that by you being in the South. I can
Yeah.
tell a Northerner or a Midwesterner.
Yeah.
You know what, Rita? You know what,
honey?
Rita? If you were going into acting or whatever, but if you were going to potluck, your food would be the first place we'd go to, those sweet potatoes and that gravy.
Right. That's it. Yeah. No, you're stereotyping again.
Again?
It's true too. It's true.
When did I stop stereotyping, Tom?
No, she may be a terrible cook.
I mean, I'm not saying she is, but I'm saying we'd still go there just because of that accent. I didn't say it was good food.
Oh, okay.
That was just, we all stereotype.
Talking like a Jew
That's where your
lawyer now.
mind goes to, that good Southern cooking.
Talking like a Jew lawyer now.
You know, that's my other profession when I'm not being a pilot or a brain surgeon.
Right on.
No, it's just
Mhm.
like you, Mrs. James. I don't think you really have an accent of any kind.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm from Idaho, and sometimes I can speak like I'm from the South, and I don't know when it happens. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it does, sometimes I make it up. I just never know, but I do have a Southern accent, and I can also call your mama if you make me mad.
Well, I think it's maybe, I'm sure
Rita,
it's the accent.
that deserves some applause. That was really good.
Yay for you.
Hey, but
Yay
just
for
look
you.
at how they judge.
But I think it's things I say like honey or darling or just euphemisms that I use. You know, don't get your panties in a wad. You know, just things that I say.
Yeah, but look how people view hee-haw.
Well,
Hee-haw.
You know, it's
I'm
not
not, but that was exaggerated too.
Oh, now you're just crushing my dreams.
Yeah.
That was also you know, really exaggerated.
You're telling me
I'm not
Buck
saying
Owens
now.
and
Listen, honey, I can
No.
go to the mountains of North Carolina and I can talk to people. I can't understand a damn thing they say.
Listen, that's because you drink too much on the way up there.
No, I'm from there. I'm just saying the dialect as to the coast of North Carolina, to the mountains of North Carolina, to the central part of North Carolina, to close to Tennessee, close to South Carolina. It changes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that it's like that anymore, but I know it used to be. If you went
But don't
to
discount a person that has a southern accent of being stupid.
right.
I mean, just because our words, we could use the right words just because we have a little accent to it.
Right. I don't have a problem with it.
I think it's endearing. I love a southern accent.
Yeah,
I hear
mean,
somebody talking in a southern
cheese,
accent and I'm drawn to them.
if you were making me a grilled cheese, no problem. Brain surgery, next.
You don't know what I know. Maybe I know some miracle stuff you never saw on the internet.
Yeah, it's
It
unlikely.
wouldn't bother me if a brain surgeon had a southern accent, as long as he had great credentials.
What if he was also suicidal and the next day he was going to kill himself?
Well, that might, but how would I know that?
And besides, there's another.
I mean, that's not something that's kind of divulged.
There's another oxymoron: great credentials with a southern accent.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, Victor, I think it's time for Victor to go bye-bye.
Victor, I've tried to follow him.
Yeah,
I just
fucking nut job.
I don't know. He's a nut job. He's just.
Well, have you been reading what he's posting?
I have.
Fucking nut job.
I have the name of the novel.
What is it?
The Giver.
The Giver?
Didn't have a damn thing to do with green.
Shut up, Rita. Nobody's asking you.
Oh, but see, that dumb Southern lady picked up on it.
I know. Lois Lowry, The Giver. Newbery Award winner. Life in the community where Jonas lives is idyllic. Designated for birth
No,
mothers
me
to
either.
produce new children.
Good-doke. I'll check that out.
It's more of a high school or middle school book, but it's intense. It gets intense.
Oh, that'd be perfect for me, right?
Right, because you got a southern accent. That's why I thought of you. I don't want
Thank
your
you
reading level
so
to be
much.
too
Thank you.
challenged.
No, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, Jimmy said there's a book and a movie. You're welcome. You know what? Someday we're going to have to talk about schools. I looked this up and I was trying to look it up, and it was like all these places where I could find short stories for children. And I thought, why are our children being encouraged to read such short stories? Because they can't read.
Yeah, probably.
Well, it depends on the age group and what they can read. You can read, but you can't comprehend. I've known autistic people that could read like a mofo, but they couldn't comprehend what they just read.
I've known normal
Yeah,
people
but you
who
don't
had
need to
that
be
problem.
autistic to
Yeah,
do that.
that
No,
was a real
I'm
wake-up call.
I'm not pinpoint. Just people. I'm sorry. There again, I misspoke.
Yeah, why are
People.
you saying? We forgive you because you have that accent, but
The
come on,
reason
Rita,
I
you gotta
said that
grow.
was because I know an autistic child. It's a friend of mine, and she's been reading. She since she was like 2. I mean, reading.
Do you
But
mean
she didn't
reading?
necessarily comprehend what she read. She's just now catching up with what she's comprehending of what she's reading. But she could read. She could say the words. She could decipher the words.
Yeah.
But it didn't mean that she comprehended.
Right.
Well, I can
But I
talk a
guess
lot
that's
about
me
education.
too. I always say I'm not very articulate. You know, I know some words, but I mean, I do comprehend them, but you know, I'm just not the most, I'm not a great orator
So how do you
and
get
relaying sometimes what I want to say. I think I was better at it, but I'm old now, you know, my mind's a little foggier, slower.
I just want to say that if you can say the word articulate, you're doing okay.
You
You're
get
a
away
trip. You're a trip.
You know, I think you get your point across pretty good.
Well, I try to. I'm just saying I'm not the best orator. I'm just not great at
you
speaking
orate.
or explaining.
Don't you think she orates?
Yeah.
She orates well.
I think so.
Yeah.
And she punches it home with saying it 2 or 3 times when she's serious.
I do. I have to say it 3 times. I guess maybe that's that is just for me. It's just a getting my point across. That means I'm emphatic about it.
Okay, so there's another big word, emphatic. Pat yourself on the back.
Yeah. Oh, you're something.
So what I would also say is she says it 3 different ways.
Yeah, that's true too.
You know?
Yeah.
That's just my tick, I guess. It's just I want to get my point across. I want you to understand that I am passionate about that. I agree wholeheartedly. You know, I never really even noticed it till you brought it up. Wow.
Well, here's another thing I want you to keep us in contact with you about your sister, because I know it's closing in and that's going to be hard. So we sure have our hearts and
well, I appreciate that. You know, well, as I said, we didn't have a great relationship, but she's still my sister. You know.
That didn't mean shit to me.
Well, I know it didn't to you. And I've often verbalized to you, Tom, you know, about our troubles and how I felt, you know, treated by her or whatever. But that's her cross to bear. That's
Not anymore.
well, maybe it is.
You got to be alive to bear it.
Do you? Maybe it starts being.
Let me put it this way: anybody that has suffered, like she has suffered since the age of 45 to 77.
No, I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about my sister.
Yeah.
Now, I do. My sister recently, like yesterday, today.
But she's still my sister, and there's something else about people in the South, I think too. I don't, I'm not her. I'm not, as much as I've judged her, and it was her children that I took care of, and, blah, 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 fuck all that. But still, what does it matter now? She's dying.
Right.
And I can only show her some compassion.
So I want to tell you what I did with my sister, who's been
that I'm her next of kin, and I'm making a lot of decisions.
Oh yeah.
So my sister's been a stinker pretty much our whole life, and since I've self-actuated, I don't give a shit. But she said that so she was not talking to me since last Christmas, and I started noticing, go, what's going on? And she's still not talking to me. So here's what I do. It's called a fuck you gift. It's a fuck you nail in the coffin gift. And what I did is I sent her a nice little blanket that said, I love you no matter how far we are away. Here's a hug. Wrap yourself up in this blanket, give yourself a hug. And the other thing I sent her was this little necklace that has her two little girls swinging on a swing that kind of looked like us when we were kids, what we were doing. And I sent that to her, and she barely acknowledged it, but she did acknowledge it. But I didn't think she would acknowledge it. But now I'll never have to feel guilty about the fact that we aren't in a relationship because I did the nail on the coffin thing. And that's just something I do for myself.
Yeah. But at this point, there's no longer revenge. She and I went back and forth, tit and tat, and she do something to me, I do something to her, blah, 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 blah. But I'm just saying, at this point, what fucking does it really matter? Whatever happened, happened.
No, that's not the way I look at it.
And
I'd have cremated my sister myself if they'd have given me an opportunity. I would have.
Well, if you can do it, that'd been cheap.
No problem.
Oh, you had to have had some kind of good something at some point between you.
Yeah, but I still wanted to incinerate her.
Well, well, that's what I'm doing with my sister. I'm having her cremated. Does that count?
No, because you're like, you're taking the high road at the end. It's just a personal.
Well, there's nobody else to do it, so who's going to do it? Do I just leave her? For the state?
Yeah. You could.
I can't. I can't do that. That's just not the way I was raised.
All right.
I can't do that. I can't do that.
You could do it though. You're just not going to. It's different.
Well, I'm not going to. My moral compass won't let me.
It's got nothing to do with morals.
Well, I think it does.
I don't. There's no moral obligation to help somebody at the end you had a shitty relationship with. As I
said, she wouldn't walk across the fucking street for me.
I really appreciate your moral obligation to yourself. This is not a moral obligation to her. You can leave her laying there and she does not give a shit. I promise you that. And that's what your moral obligation was. You can take that high road, whatever you have to do, but you're not doing it for her because she doesn't care anymore. You're doing it for yourself. Amen. Just like me, I sent that gift to my sister for myself. I did not have any expectation that at the end of the day that would change anything.
That's what it is. Don't have any expectation.
And you're doing it for yourself.
Right. You're doing it for yourself. Otherwise, you could probably hire.
I don't want to be a shitty person. Well, even though she was a shitty person to me, that doesn't mean that I have to be a shitty person to her.
I don't hear that you're doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
Especially at the end of her life. What fucking difference does it matter now?
I don't care if you were raised in Vietnam or in the South. You either do this for yourself or you've not gained anything from this.
Amen.
And that is free advice. Next time I'm going to charge.
Yeah.
Say again.
I said, I don't care if you're raised in the South or in Vietnam or who you were raised by. If you're not doing this for yourself, because she will be gone and she doesn't care, then you're not doing it for
right. I have to live with me. I have
Right.
to live with me. What
well,
I
that's
feel
what
is
you
right
said.
or wrong.
Right.
No, it's totally, you've told two completely different scenarios on the same subject.
Thank
First,
you.
Okay,
you were doing it
explain.
for her. Now you're doing it for you after Abacadabra spelled it out. Which is it?
I'm doing it for me after abracadabra.
Yeah, she just spelled it out to you.
Alacara, Shauna, Alacara, Mrs. James, whatever you want to call me. Don't call me late for dinner. That person.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your name. That threw me off.
Oh, okay.
That threw me off. I'm sorry.
So what you're saying is now you're changing your tune and you're saying, yes, I am doing it for myself. 5 minutes ago is I don't want to be a shitty person. Well, you're not a shitty person either way.
Well, right. I can't not be a shitty person and not.
Why? Who cares? And who cares besides you?
I do.
Well, you're the only one that should care because she ain't gonna care. And I think Tom.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, there you go. I'm doing it for myself.
Okay.
You're right. You're right. I guess I'm doing it for myself.
Oh.
Yeah, and from now on, Rita, anytime anything important comes up, I want you to run it by her.
Oh, I will. I will. I need somebody to run it by.
Yeah, she kept you from telling this story to somebody else who may have just remained silent and said to themselves, "What a nut."
Well, I didn't think I was being a nut. I mean,
I didn't either until you told two completely different stories in 5 minutes.
I don't see how they were completely different.
I know.
Well, when you're listening to the live stream again, pay real close attention to this conversation and see if you can spot it because it's got bingo. We're playing bingo now.
Yeah, it's at 2:50. Starts at about 2:55.
Because I don't want to be a shitty person. What does that have to? What else did I say?
Okay, let me ask you something else. We're going to go a little deeper. You ready?
Please do.
Hang on to your ass. Hang on to your ass. Okay. Are you a shitty person right now?
I don't think so.
Okay. If you don't bury your sister, we're just pontificating here. We're not saying it's going to happen, not happen. But if you decided not to bury your sister and leave her there and let the state claim that body, which is no longer her, does that now make you a shitty person when you weren't before?
It's a good question.
That one I'm going to charge her for, Tom.
Yeah, hang on one second.
Let me think about it till Tom comes back.
Okay.
If I were to bury her, because I think I'd be a shitty person if I didn't. Or if I let the state bury her.
Don't forget the first part. Are you a shitty person as it stands right now?
No.
Okay.
And with all intents and purposes, most people that know the situation would say, fuck it, let them bury her.
You're not most people. You're not most people. You're you.
Thank you.
I just can't do it.
Right. So what you have to do, and it's okay to do it. It's okay to bury her and cremate her or whatever you want to do. You just have to make sure you're not doing it for the wrong reasons. Because there's an opportunity here to do it for yourself.
Thank you. Finally.
Okay, well then I'm doing it for myself because I don't want to be a shitty person.
You've grown tonight.
I don't want to be a shitty person.
But you're not a shitty person, so why does that play into it? You are not a shitty person. So why does that play into your decision?
I just find that a shitty thing to do.
Well, there you go. It may be a shitty thing to do, but does that make you a shitty person?
No.
No, but it would be different if I didn't have the means, but I have the means.
Get rid of the means. You have no means. You're standing out in the desert.
Right.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't feel about it.
Everything
bad about it
around you is gone.
If I
And you're just,
didn't have an option, I wouldn't feel bad about it.
okay, so now you really got some shit going on.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, is there a mental hospital close?
Right.
Well, I've never said I told you I come from a long line of crazy.
No, but you can't have it both ways.
Well, I guess I want to have it both ways.
Well,
So
you don't.
I'm wrong if I do, and I'm wrong if I don't.
No. You're confused if at the beginning you're doing it for her and you went full circle and now you're doing it for you. You can't have it both ways. You've just changed your mind.
I don't know. Well, see, JMO said she couldn't do it either.
Well, but that's not what we're discussing here.
Hey, that's a really classic deflection, right?
Perfect. Yeah, because we don't know what she'd do before she just commented now.
I
Right.
don't know. Is there a right or wrong?
Well, you tell us. We don't. She didn't say there was a right or wrong. We're just trying to figure out why you do it or why you don't.
I
And
don't
we
know.
say, you said at the beginning you did it for her. We said you're doing it for you, and it has nothing to do with being
Because she has nobody else to do it for her.
But that's not the part we're discussing.
What I'm concerned about is if she's a shitty person if she doesn't do it. That's where I'm concerned, because she's attaching a value onto an act that she's doing for someone who doesn't give a shit.
Amen. Right. Bingo.
I don't know. That's a dilemma.
Well, it isn't a dilemma. Now, what are you going to do if this comes up in a week? That's the dilemma. I want to make sure you're consistent with this. Are you doing it for her or are you doing it for you?
Does it matter?
It does when you say two different things.
Well, I've already contacted a place to take care of her remains.
Okay.
It's just something to reflect on,
Yeah,
Rita.
this isn't like,
Well, it is. You've opened my eyes to something. You really have. And it's something I need. Well, I don't know that I need, but I'd like to think about.
And I think thinking about it is the best option here.
I think I'm just in conflict. But even if I do it, I don't think I'll feel bad about doing it.
That's not the point.
it isn't.
It's just the way things are done. It's tradition, I
You know what I
guess.
used to love about teaching is when the kids would come into me and they'd say, Miss Ferris, that's my last name. Miss Ferris, I can't do math because my parents can't do math. I loved that.
Right.
Well, there's a degree of truth in that. They can't get the help
So what I did was
that they might need if they're math wasn't my great
I don't
forte, and my parents wasn't necessarily, after I got to a certain grade level, weren't of any help.
that's not what they meant. They meant they had no propensity to do math because
Well,
their
that's
parents
not
didn't know.
true. That's not true.
Right. But that's just the way you do things.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, you've given me things to think about. I mean, for my own mind, but I'm still going to go ahead and do what I feel is right.
We know that.
I wish I could be there. I wish I could be there with you. I think that's a hard thing to do, and I wish you. I hope you have some family around you to
No,
figure
here
out.
you go off the rails. Here you go off the rails.
No, I'm just being nice. Leave me alone.
Oh, don't be kind. Don't be
yeah,
kind
don't
now.
be kind. Not around Tom. No. It's all existential and Solomon controversy. I made that up. Isn't that a good word, Solomon controversy?
And it's not.
Tom, you're not mad I yelled at you, are you?
No.
Please say you were.
What's not?
What she said.
Okay.
Always.
But back to the kids, and they can't.
Well, whatever. You know, if I'm wrong or I don't know. You say I'm telling two different stories, but
you gave two different answers on how you felt about it within 5 minutes.
And I think it was kind of Freudian.
I guess I'm going to have to go back and look at this.
Yeah.
And
3:55 it starts. 2:55 it starts.
I don't think I ever said that I wouldn't do it, and then I changed my story and said.
No, you said you did it for two. You gave explanations to do it for two completely different reasons. At the beginning.
Oh, for her and for me.
No, at the beginning it was for her. Now
well, it is for her. I think it's for both.
Well, that could be true too.
I think it's for both.
Now there's three different explanations.
Yeah. You come up with a third one.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! Damn.
You keep.
I think it's for the both of us. I think it's a healing, maybe for me, to do the right thing, regardless of how our situation was.
The right thing isn't defined.
Right.
I don't know what you're saying.
I think you need to just listen to it again and just ruminate on what was said, because I think that's part of the reason is trying to keep up with what was said, because there was a lot of things said that you know that you would have to listen to and kind of think about in order to understand or not understand, but to imbue into your psyche and find a better way to.
Yeah. Do you have any?
I don't know how to say.
Yeah. How about this? Do you have any jumper cables you could put on your ears?
Yeah. We could jump you. Oh my God, wouldn't that be great? Like you could have jumper I would be a psychiatrist.
Hey, you know, they don't really know why that works.
Are you talking about electrotherapy?
Yeah.
Well, it is true that we are made of electricity. We have a lot of
all the elements of the earth.
Right.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
And we're made of stars. Like we're I love that. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yes.
But I don't want to be like Mars, just a big giant planet of dust with methane clouds and nobody there.
Well, what would you be like? Which planet would you like to be?
I'd like to be the moon.
Oh, the moon. It was fun to be the moon.
Yeah.
The moon is fun.
You're not going to be a planet.
No, but I have chemical similarities to a planet.
We all do.
I told that kid that, you know, it was a lie that I was made of cheese, but if he wanted to know anything else, to please Google me. And there was a flag on the moon. And if he looked real hard at night, he could see it. Because remember the astronauts left the flag?
Oh, my God. Are you the rabbit in the moon?
I think I'd like to be Mercury, closest to the sun.
Yeah, you and I don't think you'd want to be Mercury.
Yeah, you would probably talk me out of it being the moon. Hey, come here. That's too hot over there. Come over here.
Mars, you'll have a chance of meeting Elon Musk.
Well, I'm not. That's not something I'm into.
Fucking do. I want to know what the big hype is with Elon Musk. Elon Musk has never invented anything.
Oh, yes, he has. PayPal.
No, he has
Yes,
not.
he did.
PayPal, yes, he
No,
did.
he has
Yes, he
not.
did. Yes, he did.
PayPal was his.
No, okay.
Hey,
Re-
right. Hey,
No,
you
he
don't
has
like
not.
you don't
He
like
has
Elon
had
Musk.
people that work for him
Yeah.
invent
Well, why
things.
isn't he working
But
for them?
Elon Musk himself has never invented anything.
He put together Tesla.
He did
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I
he took
disagree.
over
I disagree.
So I know why you don't like him, because he supported Trump.
Hmm. There you go, Tom. You got me.
Well,
You got me.
You just think. So how would you describe Musk then? It's just some fucking loser.
He's a man with money that
Yeah, he got money
employed a
because
lot of really smart people.
Is he a shitty person to you, Rita?
Oh yeah, she hates him.
I don't. Tom will answer for me.
Yeah, I will, because you don't like the fact that he endorsed Trump, who you hate, and you said that the other night. So why would you like him?
Mm-hmm.
He's not working for people that
I
started
don't
Tesla.
hate everybody that is associated with Donald Trump,
No, but what's your beef with Elon Musk?
because I think he's highly overrated, and he's just got money that he takes credit for things that other people have done.
Well, then why didn't
I'm
they
sure
do it?
he
Why
pays
isn't he
them
working
quite
for them?
well, but he in his own, look it up, do your research.
How about Henry Ford? Did Henry Ford take credit for other people, what other people did?
I'm sure he did.
Another
Pretty
loser.
par for the course with the American capitalism as it is.
Exactly right. Yeah, I mean, you're thinking that everything that they own and organize, they had to invent.
I think people put too much stock in Elon Musk as an individual.
I mean, why does that bother you though? Why does that bother you?
Because
I mean,
he supported Trump.
I'm not here to tell you I'm not a huge Elon Musk fan like most people are. And the only reason I'm not is because I just think that he's kind of boring, and I don't think he's always made the right decisions in his personal life.
Right.
And so I'm not a huge Elon Musk fan. However, I cannot negate the fact that he does make a lot of money and he is influencing a lot of people in one way or another, sometimes good, sometimes meh, you know?
Okay, I agree.
But you do think he's intelligent, I hope.
Yeah, I think he's intelligent, but so are a lot of other people.
I don't know if he's intelligent because I've never talked to him.
You don't need to talk to him.
There you go.
I don't.
Oh no, just read it. Just read what's told you.
What do you think of Bill? You bet you like Bill Gates, though, don't you?
No, absolutely
Rita,
not.
Rita.
Oh darn,
I
not
bet
me.
Rita does.
You tell me, Tom.
You do.
You tell me.
You do. You like him, though, don't you? Do you think he invented every single thing at Microsoft himself?
Bill Gates is a bigger thief than Elon Musk, Rita.
You tell me. Yeah, well, Tom said it. I didn't say that. Why did his wife divorce him?
Do you like him or not?
Why did his wife divorce him?
It's got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it does.
Because she found somebody else working at the gym that she wanted to be with instead.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just making up the Elvis Presley theory. Why does it upset you when he says that? There's something there you don't want to talk about because you don't want him to be right. And the reason, but it's okay for you to be right and him to disagree. Agree to disagree.
Well, I don't have a problem with agreeing to disagree, but I don't like people putting words in my mouth.
Well, do you like Bill Gates? I'm not putting words in your mouth. Why you don't like him or you do like him?
I like him and I don't like him. I like things about him and I don't like other things about him.
What
just
do you
like most
about
people.
him? What do you like about him? One thing, two things. Reader's Digest version.
He's a liberal.
Yep, he's a liberal. Go ahead, Tom.
No, that's
okay, Tom, you got to.
Bill Gates is greedy.
Yeah, well, you say that, but all of them are. All of them are. Well, okay,
so is Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
So is Elon Musk. He's greedy too.
Musk is greedy, Jimmy.
I think he's self-centered, but I think
That's what I don't like about him.
I think but what he's doing is benefiting the world, though.
But he's self-centered. That's what I see in him that drives me crazy.
Yeah, he's definitely self-centered, but sometimes.
Because I'm self-centered, so.
I don't think
so
you are.
am I.
There you go.
I mean, we're all a little bit self-centered. Yeah, he's self-centered.
Was a bum. He was a bum.
Thomas Edison. Yeah, he was
way more into Tesla. Way more. Way more.
He threw Tesla under the bus.
Yeah.
He said DC wasn't as efficient as AC, and AC was more dangerous, but that's completely irrelevant.
It is.
Like they're both dangerous if they have high voltage. And in DC, you can't send it you can't send it large distances across the countryside like with AC using transformers.
What do you want? A wind turbine on every roof, Rita? Solar panels?
Sure. I'm against all that because it's cancer causing.
Yeah, but
problem is with that, if we had a solar panel on every roof, we would still have blackouts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Depends on the weather.
Well, you can't store the power for shit either.
No.
And the wind turbines
problem with storage.
And you said you liked birds.
Oh yeah. The birds run into the windmills.
You talk to maintenance workers on those things, they pick them up by the garbage bag in the spring when they're migrating. Garbage bag. Songbirds.
They can catch on fire too.
Yeah. And they're ugly. And if you live by one, it's noisy.
I've seen fields of them and it's scary.
Yeah, they're so damn ugly.
Yeah, in Michigan now, over by the Thumb, they have them all over.
Yeah, it's so ugly. And guess who came up with those? Liberals.
Not wrong.
I know.
Yeah, it's true. I used to be a liberal or consider myself a liberal. I've kind of come to the point where I'm both at the same time. I like some of the ideas on all.
No, I'm the same way, yeah.
I wouldn't say I was a liberal. I'm an independent. I'm an independent thinker.
All things.
My God. Okay.
All things start with a good intention.
You say you're an independent thinker, but you couldn't come up with one reason.
And the road to good intentions
is paved. No, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Oh, well, something like that.
No, but the other night you spent 10 minutes about the things you didn't like about Donald Trump and couldn't come up with anything on why you were going to cast your vote for Harris.
Okay, here we go.
No, well, it's true. It's true.
Well, I
didn't want to.
You know what? You're in good company. I don't think there's many people who couldn't have done what you said, because the media has made it very clear of what things you should like or dislike about. Most people who voted for Kamala just voted for her because they don't like Trump.
Yeah,
that's a well-known fact.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
It is a big problem.
I think her policies on upcoming and supporting small businesses is a good thing.
What are they? Give
goddamn.
More free money to people that shouldn't be here?
Yeah, right.
Well, you don't need to worry about it now.
It is true that
I'm
is
not worried about it either way.
You know, I heard that she campaigned in Mexico the last campaign. That she was literally in Mexico campaigning for her presidency.
Okay.
I don't know. I never heard that, but I don't really pay too much attention to her.
I mean, I heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend, but you know, heard it from a friend who.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Who was that? Who was that song? Who sang that?
Heard it from a friend.
I don't know. I've heard it, but
REO,
I couldn't tell
REO.
you right now.
Mario Speedwagon, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this fucking thing's getting closer. 210 Harris, 230 Trump.
I know.
Woo. How many states left to go?
Well, as I said, I'm not worried about it. Whatever happens is going to happen. And everybody will just have to adjust to whatever happens.
Yeah, I'll just adjust to
you'd
the fact
admit to
that-
disappointment, wouldn't you?
I did say earlier, I wouldn't be mad. I might be disappointed.
Okay. All right.
I will tell you that, Rita, you're one of the few people, because a lot of people have a hard time adjusting whenever Trump gets elected. It's very
I
disturbing
don't
to
have,
them.
it is, what am I going to do about it?
I mean, but that's
Storm
you.
the
But I'm
White
just saying,
House?
a lot of people have a hard time adjusting to that. They do.
Storm the White House?
Oh, that was
Oh.
a good one. I'm impressed.
What am I going to do?
There's already
Attack people in the White House? Attack innocent people, guards,
there's already armed services
policemen,
prepared in all the cities.
people walking down the fucking street
Yeah.
because, what am I going to do?
So
I
what
mean,
you're saying is
we have to be
that's why
fucking
you,
civilized. That's what I'm
So-
talking about, a fucking civilized country.
so you really do
Don't
hate
threaten.
Trump. You
Don't
really do.
threaten people, and don't call people, your people, scum, and call them names.
Yeah, but let's talk about Harris. Let's talk about the one you want.
Okay,
That'll be a short conversation.
I'm just
Tom,
saying.
I'm gonna go. I'm tired, and I've got to get up early. I've got a dog I've got to go take for a parvo injection,
You know
and I got a lot on my mind.
Yeah.
So it's got parvo?
And yeah,
How that happen?
well, I knew it when I got him,
Oh, okay.
and I got him anyway
Oh, okay.
because he's young, and not many people would. They'd overlook him and not, oh no, that's like somebody having AIDS.
Yeah.
And he's had one, and he did really, really, really well. And tomorrow he's got to have one, and then the next day he's got to have another, and then they will check him. Keep checking him in a few months and see. But he's pretty much asymptomatic. That was another thing. He couldn't have had it very long. He's not really showing any signs of it, but it's totally been confirmed. But what am I supposed to do? Just wait till he's symptomatic, and then, it's a lot harder to get rid of.
I don't know much about parvo. Is that something that you can get rid of?
Heartworms. Heartworms.
Oh,
Heartworms.
You can get rid of that. Yeah,
terriers are very susceptible to it as puppies for some reason. Pit bulls.
Yeah.
They told me that that my dog had heartworms, and they wanted to have me spend a whole bunch of money, and I ended up I just ended up giving her the heartworm medication, and then the next time they checked her, they said she was fine. So.
Well, I've been doing that too. I've had him for almost a year, and it's all that does is prevent them from developing any new heartworms. It does not get rid of the adult heartworms that are already there.
You should Google that, because that may not be true.
I have Googled it. I've done a lot of research on it before I decided to. It was a decision I thought of. I thought for a long time, and I went back and forth. And
maybe you're right. I don't know.
It does not get rid of the adult. It keeps them from getting any. It keeps the adult heartworms that are already there from multiplying any more heartworms.
So then, does that eventually mean they're going to test negative for heartworms?
What does?
Because that's what happened to my dog. She ended up testing negative for heartworms.
Yeah,
Well,
we did that with Kyle.
How long did you do it?
Actually, we gave her probably only 6 months worth.
Yeah,
Oh,
I remember the doctor
so
said it
he's
doesn't
been
kill him, but
over a
it
year.
prevents him from breeding.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to wait till he's symptomatic.
No, I wouldn't wait till it was symptomatic.
But I've been giving him heartworm preventative since day one.
Right.
Since I've had him over a year. It's not changed.
So it hasn't changed. You've had him. When's the last time you had him tested? Every time you go in?
Yes.
Interesting. I want,
The survival rate for dogs with heartworm disease is 70 to 90%.
Yeah, it's worth it to take a chance on that.
And he's young. He's young and he's not symptomatic. And I'm not going to wait for him to become symptomatic. And everybody kept telling me, oh, how horrible that treatment was. He got his shot. He was groggy from the medication they gave him to keep him out of pain or whatever when they did it. He was like a champ. First day he slept. He's been good ever since. He acted like nothing's ever happened.
Well, you're very kind, and I know he loves you much as for it.
How old is that dog?
He's about 3.
Yeah, I mean, the odds are in his favor.
That's what I'm saying. So why shouldn't I treat him? It's been a year.
Who told
trying
you?
the preventative heartworm. All it's done is kept him from developing, being able for the adults to produce any more.
What fucking dumbass said you should maybe wait till he was symptomatic?
Nobody. Well, a lot of people. A lot of people that are opposed to the treatments and just say, put them on heartworm preventative.
Yeah, they're stupid.
Well, that's my fault. But I did try it. We did try it for the first year.
Yeah.
And then when it kept coming up, positive, positive, positive. And they don't just do an office test. They send it off to a lab.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm spending the money to do it. But my vet's very good. They only charged me by the treatment or by the test. I didn't have to pay up front or anything like that.
Yeah.
Good.
It's just as we go kind of thing.
Yeah.
But he's a sweetheart. And there again, I'm not going to let anything suffer if I can help it.
Right.
So with that, I will bid you all a good night.
All right, good night.
And I hope you're not disappointed tomorrow.
No,
and remember that we are all in this together, regardless of the outcome.
Not really.
Hey, I'd just be disappointed if your dog showed symptoms of heartworm. Other than that, there's nothing really bothering me. And I love you. I love you, and have a good night, Miss Rita.
Well, thank you, darling. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
You guys usually late night people?
Yeah, we're probably gonna go.
Yeah, I guess you go to bed too. I'm gonna watch this thing.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna watch it, and then I will see you later. Hopefully, I'll have another good day.
Good luck to you.
Thanks.
All right, Jim. You rock on too. Good night, LA. Drifter, you night. I don't want to miss anybody. Crunch and Munch, you still there? LA, you night too. All your liberals, I'd like to recommend you don't turn on the TV in the morning. Just dream on. Aerosmith. All right, good night, JMO. I'm going to watch it too. You guys party on. Rock on. Rock to the jizzo. See you, Drifter. All liberals, repeat, do not turn the TV on tomorrow. Do not turn the TV on tomorrow. All right, goodbye. Bye, Penny. Nighty-night. Texas. Texas strong. Bring back that death penalty in the other states. All right, rock on. All right, Emperor Love, party on.